No decision. No contest.
What's up, internet?
Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a brace, boy. Yeah.
They need to show it again. Show it again.
What is up, internet?
What's happening?
We're here with Ray the Canyon Scanlon. Actually, Ray. What's your nickname, Ray?
Ray. No nickname,
Ray
yeah.
Scanlon. A good friend of Tyler Perea's, new friend of mine. I'm just meeting him today. We're also here with Tyler Perea.
What up?
What's
Hey,
happening?
go see mommy. Mommy, you
What's
gotta get the
happening,
baby,
fam?
please.
Got the kids.
Right?
Oh, what's up, brother? Dude, I like the hand tat.
I
You said you
appreciate
like
it.
the head tat. I like the hand tattoo. Now, what are these on the knuckles?
It's
The
just
knuckles.
bipolar.
There you go.
All right. Are you bipolar?
I am.
Okay.
Definitely am. That's why I put it out there.
That's my kid. My wife's kidnapping her because she's insane. But no,
Two
darn
fights
you.
going on at one time.
Yeah, she's insane, man. We're going to watch the fights a little bit. We're going to talk to Ray. We're going to talk to Tyler. We're going to shoot the breeze. I'm going to have a nice cold drink. They're going to have a nice cold drink. It's going to be great. Tyler, what am I drinking today?
Liquor.
Am I drinking? That's not liquor.
Yeah, that's a liquor glass.
This is a new
ceramic Indian.
This is a new liquor-free liquor called water.
Water.
H2 Hizzo.
I was close.
Mm.
Close.
Does it hydrate?
Oh, it feels great.
Right.
Water all day, every day. Got this for $1 from DJ Snake's dad.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great place,
Dude,
It
super
is.
place,
I
bro.
got all kinds of cool stuff.
Dude,
up
he,
there.
he has a ton of stuff all the time. I buy video games there. I got this thing for $1.
Seems like a really great guy too.
Right
Well, I'm
across
saying,
from-
DJ Snake sounds like he has it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's his
Where's
dad.
His dad.
Oh,
Right across from
yeah.
Hilltop Gas
DJ
Station in Fort Payne.
Python?
Well, we hope
DJ,
so.
like, something.
He's got Python energy. I can
Yeah.
see that. He's a very nice guy, very happy guy, never down. So Ray, how did you meet Tyler?
Comedy, stand-up
Yeah.
comedy. I believe the first I heard of Tyler was I got a message from our mutual friend Roy Hairston, and who said, "Hey man, you guys see this guy?" And I was like, "Okay,
That's cool.
that's something to put out." And he was like, "No." He was like, "This is your wheelhouse. Y'all are in the same." He was like, "You need to see this guy."
Mhm.
And I was like, "All right." And I was like, "Send me something." And he sent me a couple little small links, and I was like, "Yeah, this dude's funny."
That's cool.
And I was like, "Yeah, he's definitely in my wheelhouse." You know what I mean? And I don't know how to put it. What genre?
Yeah. I think how we think is kind of similar.
Yeah.
Is
I see that. Yeah.
kind of storyteller, but I think when I am thinking, I get in my own way. So when I don't think, that's when I'm at my best.
Yeah.
But I have to be prepared too. But how long have you been doing comedy?
The first time I ever the first time I ever did comedy, I was like 9. It was at a talent show at our school. I remember telling them, one of the jokes I remember distinctly was there was a guy walking down the street with his dog, and I walked up to him and I said, "Does your dog bite?" And he said, "No." And I reached down to pet him, and the dog bit me. And I said, "I thought you said your dog didn't bite." And he was like, "That's not my dog." And I remember the audience laughing, and I was like, like I had done something. And then I was like, "Like a bike, I'm too tired. I'm out of here,"
Hey,
But in
I like the dog joke. That's hilarious. Hey, that's a
it
clean.
wasn't that's not my joke.
That's
obviously.
clean.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
I was 9.
9 years old.
At a talent show at the school. If I would have dropped some Carlin on them, I think it would have been an issue. But no, the first time I ever did actual stand-up was in 2010.
Okay.
And I went to the Stardome,
Mm.
and I went and did their open mic, and I did it 3 times.
Stardome's in Birmingham.
That
Yeah,
sounds cool.
For
though.
those who
That
don't know,
sounds cool.
for those in the comedic industry, you would know, but most of the people outside of it, or even not from the Southeast, are like, the what?
Yeah.
You're like, the Stardome, Sinbad got to start there.
Sounds cool.
Carrot Top got to start there. They're like,
See, I didn't know
Where?
that Carrot Top started in Alabama, in Birmingham.
I didn't know
at the
that.
Stardome.
That's cool.
I did not.
There
Carrot Top
is
was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
there's I can't believe this is happening. Have you seen those?
No.
Well, Ari Shafir did it for a little while.
Oh yeah. I have seen.
Yeah,
those,
so it's people, comics, and then also some comedic actors and actresses. They get up on stage and they tell a story. But I can't believe this is happening. And if you look up Carrot Top's story, His is about the very first night that he was to be put on, and it was at the Stardome.
I'm listening.
He got put on, was like, he was all pumped and everything. He had his box of goodies. And that night, after he set up and he got ready for the next day, he was going to headline. He went to his hotel room and the Stardome burned down.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's his story.
How long ago was that? Do you know?
I want to say it was the early 90s.
One lady is 37. One lady is 27 years old. I hate to cut you off, Deering. We're going to keep on that. Viviana is both Brazilians. The Brazilians are going to scrap a little bit, but one is almost 40 years old. Both pretty though. This other one looks like she'll babysit your kid and then like beat you if you if you got a line. But now Carrot Top was the 1-800 CAL-ATT guy, right?
I don't know.
He was for a little while, I believe.
I don't know. Maybe
And he's doing shows in Vegas now.
Yeah.
Kicking.
He
That's,
might be.
That's his whole life.
I know that he went. He went and did stuff for a while, and still remained doing comedy and was doing open mics, around Detroit and stuff like that. But at the same time, this was like 2000 and 2005. He was getting swole.
So Jack, super clean
Oh,
swole,
yeah.
Tyler. He wasn't on any
No
performance.
no juice at all. So
I hope this is sarcasm.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I was gonna say that dude's a juice to the kills.
Here you go.
Yeah, he's been taking Rogan tips.
Yeah.
Or he gave tips to
It
Rogan.
was 1-800 CALLATT.
Okay.
This is where ATT was.
The commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before even ATT was a phone company.
Oh man, I forgot.
Yeah.
Carrot Top, man.
So you
Carrot
started
Top.
out at an open mic at Stardome.
Mm-hmm.
Stardome sounds so. I want to go check that. Are they still open doing? No, it burned down. They rebuild.
They rebuilt.
Dude, I want to
They
go to
rebuilt.
that sometime. That sounds really incredibly cool.
Stardom is great. They have all the big names there. They just it's a matter of like catching them. You'll get a lot of black comedians that roll through there. All of them do.
What's wrong with
But-
that?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. But you got some white comedians
Yeah.
for some reason that won't, like Tom Segura won't stop through Stardome. As
Why
far as
not?
I know.
Why not?
Yeah, I like
That sounds weird. He said he don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume maybe.
Surely he's not like, oh no, they're gonna hate me. Huh?
I don't know. He's one of three that I know that won't stop through Birmingham. So I don't know if it's a bad experience or what.
It can happen.
And I might be completely wrong on that, but
You might, yeah, possible.
I'm pretty sure I've heard Tom Segura. There's quite a few that I can name off the top of my head that I know that wouldn't even have to mention they would not roll through Birmingham.
Yeah, who? Not in a weird way. It doesn't matter.
Ari Shaffir wouldn't stop in Birmingham ever.
I wouldn't.
No. Ari Shaffir. Yeah, I know we're on a clean podcast. This
Yeah.
is the dude that got off at LAX and said, "I'm glad Kobe's dead."
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
And I was literally about to land in LAX like an hour later, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch somebody kill Ari Shaffir at LAX." That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what I thought
awful.
was gonna happen. But I got there and nothing happened, and people were like, you went on Rogan, and they're like, "You shouldn't have said that. You should watch your mouth." And he's like,
Make me.
"Yeah."
Oh, that's
It's
crazy.
the same dude that dosed people, though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
with the Bert, him dosing Bert with the Molly.
Dude, I don't know how else to put that. I would have cut a dude. I
He
mean,
did. So I don't know the story.
He went to Bert Kreischer's house, shirt off.
Yeah, I know Bert.
And
Great friends.
Not like
yeah,
that, but
good friends. But they were going to do, as far as I know, they were going to do a podcast. They were going to sit down and kind of discuss something out. And his wife had left. This is Bert, and they're
Yeah.
at Bert's house. And his wife had left for the day. So he's there with his daughters thinking that they're just going to have this little podcast and be, no big deal.
be cool.
Well, Ari drops some pure MDMA into
Yeah.
his drink
Yeah.
and then tells him after he's drank his drink that, "Hey, I dosed you. You're about to have an experience."
That's a
And
problem.
yeah. And then he called his wife, of course, which is, people were like, "Why do you do that?" And I'll be like, that would be the first thing I'd probably
Yeah.
do. I'd be like, "Hey, honey, tell the kids I love them. They're in the other room, but I don't want to see them right now.
Yeah.
I'm done."
I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm with you as far as cutting a person. Like, dude, I don't do drugs anyway. I don't think Tyler does either.
No.
But if I was to dabble in them and Tyler was to just throw some in there, I mean, never know. I'd be like, well, hey man, that That's not cool.
And I think you would be justified in choking the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Yeah.
and vice
Yeah,
versa.
yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, that was that made me know that I was like, that's an intense friend group that I wouldn't
No.
ever
That ain't cool.
That ain't
I
cool
love
at
when
all.
they do what is it? Sober October.
sober October.
Love
yeah.
it. Think that's so cool. Now I told Tyler I thought I knew you from MMA stuff.
Yeah.
What dealings did you have in MMA?
When I got out of the Navy, I did some odd like construction work, and then I got into hanging sprinkler pipe in the roofs of buildings and stuff like that. I explain that part because when I say I put in sprinklers, people would think I put in yard sprinklers. And
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
got
no.
you. I got you.
And that was a family thing. My grandpa owned United States Sprinkler Company in Birmingham, and then he sold his half of the company, and then he ended up working somewhere else. And so I worked with them for a while, and then I ended up, shamingly, but I ended up chasing money. I jumped from one place to this place is going to pay me more.
That's everybody.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with
to
that,
this
man.
place is going to pay me more. Well, but you got to ride some out
Yeah.
because then they hear it and they're like, oh, this dude's just coming here for the more money.
Yeah.
And if someone offers more money, he's gone.
Give me $4 more an hour, I'm out the door,
Right.
boss.
You hit a wall. So I was at Fire Safety Sprinklers. It was the name of the company. Fire, like simple as that, out of Alabaster, Saginaw. And we were hanging pipe at they were building the new and this is in Alabaster. They built the new JC Penney's and the Target and everything that goes across there. And there was another foreman that was working, and he was telling me, he was like, you've been watching The Ultimate Fighter. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I can't get enough of it.
So cool. Such
Awesome.
a cool
It's great.
time to be a fan of the sport.
And he was like, he was like,
Oh,
Are
she's
they-
cracking.
are they banging?
Watt's cracking her. Watt's cracking on her. She's tired of her. She was holding her against the wall for a second. She's like, oh yeah, she's dinking on her now. I didn't mean to.
no, you're good.
Yeah.
I had money that,
Oh.
that 37 was going to break down the young one, but
Watt was cracking on her for a minute.
She
Now
looked
Yeller
real
held her against the wall for a while. Keep going, Ray. Sorry about that.
oh no, good. All good.
You were at
So we were talking about it, and he was like, I'd like, have you ever done any fighting or anything like that? And I was like, I did Taekwondo. I was like, I got a black belt. And I was like, the place said Hapkido. And I was like, but that's bullshit. It was, Taekwondo.
Jeff would like him right away.
Yeah.
Like, hey, because
Yeah,
the way he's,
yeah,
I did Taekwondo.
It's Taekwondo. Yeah. And so you get a black belt, and you tell everybody I'm a black belt. And it's like, you're a junior black belt. It's like,
Are you a black belt?
yes,
Like,
are you a black
yeah.
belt? Or did you do like the same motions for a year and a half? And they're like, here you go.
My 12-year-old's a black belt. No, he's not. No,
Right.
he's not.
So, but I had decent kicks. And that was something that I prided myself on, very strong, decent kicks.
Probably still do.
I don't know.
Just be a little sneaky. It'd be all right. Just have to stretch first.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, I have to be stretched out. Somebody have to do it for me. But I remember he and I were like talking about it like a lot, and he bought a book, and it was a BJ Penn, kind of like how to, submissions and stuff like that. He and I are both completely ignorant to anything submission wise. And we're looking at the book, and he's like, hey, there's a place up in North Alabama where you can fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, get out of here. And he was like, no, for real. And he and I had made a plan for like a month to go up there and fight. Well, the weekend before we both were supposed to go up there, he went himself.
Oh no.
And he fought, and he lost.
Yeah.
But he came back to work on Monday, and he had a black eye, and his stuff was busted up a little bit. And he's like, I fought. And I was like, I see. And I was like, what the hell? And he was like, it's not what I thought. And he was like, as soon as the dude hit me, he was like, I realized I didn't want to be in there anymore. And he's like, but my wife was in the audience, and he's like, I had to keep going. And I was like, well, I still want to go. Will you go up there with me? And he was like, no, I don't think I'm going to go back up there.
Oh no.
So the next weekend, I talked myself into going. I'm going to go. And it was Claire Day.
Okay, I know Claire Day.
And they were like, if you get this place at a certain time, you can sign up, and then
Yes.
they'll put you in a certain weight bracket, which I weighed 174 pounds.
Side note, real fast. The shows in Rainsville that Will fought out, the Tough Mans, Claire Day. That was Claire Day.
Put them on.
That was Claire Day. The dog cage around the boxing ring was
that's-
Claire Day.
It was, we literally had a dog cage,
Yep.
period. That was our,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a chain link fence, square chain link fence. But anyway,
Pioneer that guy.
so I got there. Yeah, I got there. I was scared to death. And a funny story though is like two funny things happened on the first fight. But the guy I fought was Garrett Warden. He's from Florence, Alabama, and I was like, I could tell that he was not as excited. You know, he was like, you know, you can see his face. He was thinking things over, and I'm sitting there going, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Like, I get to hit him and not get into trouble. This is great.
Yeah.
So as soon as the cage door closed though behind
Oh
me,
no. Okay.
I immediately had to take a shit. I felt it come on, and I was like, and then my mind went from winning this fight to don't shit your pants. And that's literally what happened. But he went in, like, he dove at me after the first shot. And what we did was we went in and felt each other out, and then I just threw. I was like, if you're not going to, I'm going, you know, one of us has got to start this. And I threw and I hit him. And I saw as soon as I hit him, he went like that. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he went,
Yeah, I got you.
head to the side and everything like that. So I hit him again as he was going down, and he stumbled forward and he was crying.
Oh, poor guy.
But not in a like sad sort of way, like in a, I'm gonna kill you, you know, so like he was like, you know, and he was coming at me, but I kept hitting him, and then he went down his back, and then boom, 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 boom. And then next thing I knew, I was doing this, and I was like, oh my God. And then I got fired the next day.
Why?
Because I didn't show up to work on time. I showed up, but I was just a little bit late. I was
Ray, you gotta go to work.
I was like 20 minutes late. Well, I was like, I stayed out and partied afterward. Like,
yeah, you're not in the UFC, Ray.
I know, but it was the first time. Like, you know, I got a win. I went by myself. I left with friends, not really like long lasting friends, but for the night, they were like, "You're cool, dude.
You're the coolest dude ever, Ray."
But yeah, I was 20 minutes late to work, and the foreman over the whole shop, he came out, and he was like, and he had already got on to both me and the dude for talking about it and stuff. And he was like,
"Why for talking about it?"
He goes, "If you're up there doing this," he said, "if you break your hand, if you get hurt, is like, you can't haul my pipe. You can't hang my
You can't
pipe."
hold his pipe.
Yeah.
How dare you have dreams
You
aside from
can't-
holding
yeah.
pipe? How
You
dare
can't-
you? If you
can't
want-
my pipe. So,
If you need to go get a drink, go do it, boss man. You good?
okay.
We ain't gonna hold
I
you
will- I
up.
will
now.
just-
Yeah, you do your thing.
But that was it. And then I literally same day ended up going to jail. All totally different, not related. My mom was like, "Hey, the cops came to the door. You have a warrant for your arrest." And I was like, "Oh." And she was like, "Well, how about I go turn you in and pay your bail? I'll get you right back out." And I was like, "Cool. All right." You know, she took me to jail. I'm sitting in the waiting cell.
Thanks, Mom.
Hours going by, another hours going by. I'm going, what the hell's going on? You know, my mom didn't screw me over, thank God. But when I finally got into Gen Pop, then I got to talk on the phone. She's like, "I'm so sorry. There was a cash bond and I didn't know. They said I had to have $3,000 right now." And I was like, "Don't worry about it, Mom. I thought it was 300." But then they came and got me like a month later.
A month later.
It was my stepdad
no.
was the boss, you know.
At the pipe place?
No.
At the jail.
As of my family.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So my mom just, you know, whatever dad said.
Let him sit there and learn. He'll learn.
Well, what happened was he was going to let me sit there for a while. I had already sat there for 9 months one time.
Yeah. Oh no.
In county. That's another story. But he was like, his mother died and they had the funeral. And then for some reason, after the funeral, he drove to the jail and bailed me out.
Oh, that's sweet.
Didn't say a word. And then when I got in the car, Mom was like, "Just don't speak to your dad. Don't say nothing to him." And that's what she called him too, was my dad.
And you were like,
"I'm
not calling him dad. That's my stepdad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He was, you know,
A little hard nosed.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I got another job, and then I went back up there, and I fought a guy out of Mississippi.
Okay.
And the same thing happened, except for this time I hit him, and I'm going to be honest here. I don't think I knocked him out, but I think he just didn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
Because when I hit him, he went like this and landed, and then went
Oh,
like who lands, then turns her head and closes her eyes.
that's a strange thing.
Nobody.
Yeah.
He just did. He was done, and I understood that, but it didn't matter. Immediately after that fight, I was like, I'm the greatest in the world.
I'm gonna be the champion. Of the
I'm going to
UFC.
be the next UFC champion. And then people were like, but you don't know the ground game at all. I was like, screw the ground game. I don't need to know none of
I'm
that.
just gonna knock everybody
That's-
out, man.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm like Chuck Liddell. I'll get back up. You can't take me down. I'll get back.
You're at the
that-
bar drunk, like, dude, I'm Chuck, bro.
You're
I
right,
can
I'm
feel it.
Chuck. But no, it's definitely was not the. I went up to Illinois. I joined Team Hive because I wanted to join the Hit Squad. Matt Hughes Hit Squad.
Very cool, very cool.
And I found out I got fed a couple cans, and I was like, so awesome.
Yeah.
I told you. This is what I'm telling them. I told you.
I'm
told
on
you.
the hit squad, dog. What are you
Right?
talking about?
And then they had me go against, I know his name was Jared out of Indiana. And I remember being scared to death too, walking up to that one. This was in the middle of a baseball diamond because I thought these people here knee when you're down and they kick to the face.
It's a different time. No commissions yet.
Yeah,
It's
this
not
was
even
in
real.
Indiana.
We're just out
Yeah.
here.
So
Claire
that's-
Day, I got a
soccer
funny.
ball kick.
I have a funny story of Billy Bailey's that I'm going to tell after you go. But
Okay.
go ahead. You were walking to the middle of the baseball diamond.
And I was thinking, these people knee while you're down, they, soccer kick to the face. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
There was
Don't-
no commission for it. They
don't-
could do what they wanted.
don't
to
get
do.
down there. Don't be in that position. I don't want to get. But it was a jiu-jitsu guy that didn't there. I could tell he didn't like. There was no striking in his game whatsoever. But within 45 seconds of the first round, and it's 3-minute rounds, he would get double underhooks, and then he would find a way to press me down. And he was much taller than I was too, close to 6 foot. And I'm 5'7", 5'8", on a good day. But he took me down three rounds. This happened. It was like over and over again. And I'm punching him. I'm hitting him. I caught him with a nice elbow. I'm just busting him anytime I could. When he was laying on top of me, he would take breaths, breathing heavy, and I would just be,
Yeah.
as much as I could. When it was over with, and they declared him the winner by, but at the time I was so cocky. I was like, look at him. Look at his face. Look at me.
Yeah.
I look like I just got here. He looks like he's been through the ringer. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? But that's not what mattered. And,
Yeah,
and these judges understood that. But it didn't matter at that point. I still wasn't over with.
You were Chuck Liddell incarnate.
I was. I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I was like, that was crap. I was like, those people don't know what they were looking at.
Mhm.
I beat the crap out of the dude. And in my mind, I was just telling, and then of course, TJ the whole way back in the car. I'm like, if we were in an alley, I would have won. And he's like, you damn right you would have.
For sure, you're the
He's
best.
egging
Bro.
me on, and I'm like, yeah, you damn right I would. I
You're
would.
Chuck Liddell's son. What's going on here?
But then
They didn't do nothing else. They had no more smoke going. They dropped all their smoke in that first round.
the next guy was Ethan March. You know who I'm talking about? The Bellator dude.
I don't, but by the way you're saying it, I'm assuming this does not go great.
That was I knew in round one. I was like, it's the end of the road for me. This is it. Because I didn't know. I was like, your face is blocking my entire airway. Like he had his shoulder and everything right here. I'm fighting for air, and he's doing everything he can to shut my airway off,
God,
block me.
son.
He'd grab my leg, and I'd try to push him off my leg. He'd grab my ankle. I'm like, what are you doing?
He was good.
It was like quicksand. I couldn't get out of it. I would go out, and on the second round, I thought I'm going to throw a skip side kick, and I'm going to just nail him. He's not going to see it coming. It did. He saw it coming.
Goodness gracious.
He just took me. I'm like, he grabbed me, put his leg behind. It was the same all 3 rounds. Put his legs behind me, and then
Yeah, you're done.
we fall over to the ground, and then it's his game from there. I was just fighting to not get submitted.
I get that. It
And then when
happens.
it was done, I remember I stood there respectfully. They raised his hand, and I remember walking up to TJ, and I threw in a mouth guard at him like it was his fault.
You didn't make me train jiu-jitsu and wrestling,
But
bro.
I did say these exact words. which were, well, I was like, effing YouTube videos. And I threw my mouth
no.
because that was our jujitsu.
That's crazy.
He was a stand-up. He was a Muay Thai teacher,
Yeah.
which he was very good. He was very good at his stand-up. But as far as jujitsu went, when we trained at the Hive, we were literally watching you like, okay, see this part. Let's do this. Roll over this foot like this.
Yeah, I get that.
None of us knew what any of that meant. We didn't know what we were doing.
Ain't it been crazy seeing the sport grow though from that to this?
It has. And that's what we discussed
We're
last
30
time.
years in.
Yeah, he knows Chuck.
How you know Chuck, man?
Because I was at 10th
Chuck
Planet.
Chuck Mitchell, is he not like the coolest cat in the world?
Chuck is cool as crap. Crap. I said
Crap
it
is
right.
good.
I almost said shit.
We're gonna do
Yeah.
we're gonna do about 5 or 6 more minutes on here, and then we're gonna hop over on. We'll be on No Smoking with Sam McAlpin on Facebook. We'll be on the Alabama Fighting Championship on YouTube. We'll be on Impartial Education on YouTube, and we'll be on the Alabama Grapevine on YouTube. So hop on any of those, look it up. It'll be fun. But we're gonna cut it here just so we can kind of shoot the breeze a little more freely. Yeah,
Right
go
on.
ahead, boss.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying that. Yeah, Chuck's a phenomenal teacher. Was a phenomenal teacher, but even before he advanced,
got his black belt now.
Yeah, now, yeah,
running a school.
Running a school. But
Yeah,
I was
dude.
saying that, like back even when he was still a blue and purple belt, he was teaching the kids,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh, you could just see, you could tell. Like,
He wants to teach jujitsu.
he's got
He
it.
wants to do it.
and he's got that touch, dude. He's got that.
So when I ran the gym, I had Tyler was the pad holder in the back, warming everybody up, man. Took great faith in Tyler. That takes a lot of faith. We could have had some other just turd back there, and it would not have been nearly as good. Tyler is a very good pad holder. He was very good at getting smoke out of him. He's good at that. My guys were ready to go, and he could feel it too. Because there was be times he come in and say, "Nah, they cracking today, boss." I was, "Ah!" And then we had I would give him corner advice as the kickboxing coach, and Chuck would be our jiu-jitsu coach. I think if things open back up and our guys start competing again, I would want it to be at least about the same, because whether Tyler's training all the time or not, Tyler can hold some pads. 100,000,000% he can hold the pads. Tyler can go smoke me out right now on the pads if he wanted to. But the reason being is I know I can handle kickboxing advice. Hey, let's try this. Hey, let's try this. 1 inside, 2, 3. Let's go 1, 7. Let's start trying stuff. We can get reads and stuff. I know Tyler's going to have them dogged up, chomping at the bit, right? Are we ready? And then I know Chuck, what I do is when Chuck gives his advice, I just stop. I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Once it hits the ground or any kind of grappling, I just go. And
What
Chuck
next?
goes,
Yeah.
man.
Where's it go from here?
It's
Yeah.
clean, son. It's a good. There's no reason we can't have a really, really good competitive team right here at the house, but it takes people showing up doing what they say they're gonna do. You know, I'm gonna be on TV, be best. I'm gonna do martial art, get a belt. All right, man. Tomorrow's practice is really hard. Oh hell, my dog died. Oh, what do you mean, man?
I'm guilty though. I've been there, and that's how I know Chuck.
Yeah.
I was with 10th Planet, but like I would go for a few months and then
Man,
come
yeah.
back for a few months and then come for a few months but Chuck, early on I knew that Chuck
He was always there.
yeah, he breathed it, lived it, breathed
Beautiful.
it.
Loves being around it. Just his whole entire jam. Yeah, dude. And he
passion.
loves me. He says he loves me. He says I don't mean to be specific with that, but he tells me he loves me. He's gonna help once we start the gym. He's gonna help me get my jiu-jitsu course right.
Mhm.
That's the only belt I have. I have a blue belt under Chuck, and I have other. Jeff doesn't belt people. He doesn't believe in that and stuff. He just doesn't want to do it as far as kickboxing goes.
Who's Jeff?
Jeff Powell.
Jeff Powell.
That's Trevor Peak's kickboxing coach, my kickboxing coach, Bonnie Wagner's kickboxing coach, Sid Wheeler's kickboxing coach. A mess of people. Best kickboxing coach in the South, and in my opinion, one of the best kickboxing coaches in the country. He's good, and he's not getting the credit he deserves because
lineage.
so it goes. I can look it right here. It goes Jeff Powell. Then it goes Chet Blaylock. It goes from Chet Blaylock to, and I don't want to lie, but I put it in my phone that way. If anybody's like, "What's your lineage?"
Was
It's
it
like
Joe Lewis?
I don't
after Chet?
want to
Joe
lie
Lewis.
to you. I don't want to lie to you.
Kickboxer?
Yeah, I know
I'm-
that.
I'm
Yeah, and
pretty positive it's Joe Lewis. Let me look. 13. I know I put it in here. Hang on, I don't want to lie. Lineage goes okay.
we're
so
talking about
it's,
Canadian Joe Lewis, right?
Blonde-haired Joe Lewis.
So me,
Oh.
I just don't want to lie. But like if I'm the kickboxing coach, it goes me and then Jeff Powell. It goes from Jeff Powell to Chet Blaylock, and then it goes from Chet Blaylock to Joe Lewis. And Joe Lewis is a big, massive deal in the kickboxing world. He's been around a long time.
He trained with Bruce Lee and right,
Yeah.
and then they make Ken off a Street Fighter, based on him.
I think that is what Jeff said.
Yeah.
I can tell you about Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis was an American martial artist, professional kickboxer, and actor. Originally a practitioner of Shirin Ryu karate and champion in point sparring competitions, he became one of the fathers of full contact karate and kickboxing in the United States and is credited with popularizing the combat sport in North America. So the lineage checks way out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was nicknamed the Muhammad Ali of karate, twice voted the greatest fighter in karate history, twice voted that. Having won several karate tournaments, attained titles, United States heavyweight kickboxing champion, world heavyweight full contact karate champion, United States national black belt kata champion. Though initially trained and primarily known as a karateka, Lewis cross-trained in several other martial arts, including, I can't read that, but it's Kempo karate, boxing, judo, jeet kune do, tai chi, and folk style wrestling. His friend and training partner Bruce Lee coined him the greatest karate fighter of all time. He was also named by the Star System World Kickboxing Ratings as the Star Historic Undisputed Heavyweight World Champion and is credited on their site as the father of modern kickboxing. He competed professionally from 65 to 83 with a 16-1-4 record and 14 wins by knockout.
Right on.
The lineage checks way out, son. It's insane.
Well, I mean, I heard you drop Jeet Kune Do in there. That's Bruce Lee's martial
Bruce
art
Lee
himself. So,
and one more thing, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and head over to the other stuff so we can shoot the breeze and then do the thing. Tyler mentioned that you have some IMDb credits. Tell us about that. You ain't got to stretch it out far, just a little. It's cool.
I want you to talk about you doing comedy in LA.
Hang on, let him go grab go refill first. Go refill first.
You sure?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
wanna
want, no,
hold-
you're good. You're totally fine. Super good.
give me just a second.
Me and Tyler sit here. I'll throw stuff at him. He'll throw stuff at me.
Yeah.
I think I am going to start doing what you said. I'm going to sometimes just. Well, my mama used to beat me when I was a kid. I was going to go Theo Vaughn and just run through stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just tell my life story. By that time, I drank bleach. You ever drank bleach?
Yeah, to clean my system out.
Is that a thing? Is that real?
Well,
I've heard that.
Well, when I was in high school, yeah.
So-
I got that advice from somebody who did drink bleach, and they was like, "Hey, you just drink a capful."
I've heard
bleach,
that. I've heard
and
that.
it will clean your entire system out. Not only will it clean your entire system out, it will make you throw up and shit everywhere because it's bleach. It's poisonous.
So people
It's poisonous.
So people are just around here.
Yeah,
just
you don't drink
saying
bleach.
that.
Don't drink bleach. Just don't do drugs.
I'm
Kids.
gonna let Jamar hop on while he's here.
I'm gonna go get me some more water.
Do you think, man?
Uh,
I got water.
I want to go get some water.
Oh, Jamar. Yeah, mess his seat up so he can get back in the middle when he gets back.
Yeah.
Jeez. It does look like I'm drinking alcohol, don't it?
It does.
Straight
Looks
water,
like you're
boss.
drinking some-
You can vouch for that. It looks like a super nice bottle of tequila from Mexico or something. Looks like something that was made in Africa. They put it underground for a long time, you know?
Does
no.
something like stays cold somehow?
I just put ice in it. I put ice in it and it's cold so far. Cold so far. Yeah, I do want to hear about the IMDb because that's pretty neat.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, dude, just all cool. It's all good, man. I enjoyed the conversation. It is crazy to me that we were told as kids to drink bleach to pass a drug test, you know? And I think that's the problem. A lot of kids around here are afraid to like tell their parents, hey, I want to do this and that. And as kids, I was for sure. I was terrified of my parents. I didn't want to get beat. But the fact that there are three major introductions to it is one, the DARE program with a dog. Two is your buddy saying, hey man, or some slightly older person saying, bleach will help you pass your drug test, man. Crazy to even hear. And then the third is just going and doing drugs.
Yeah.
There's no ease in here. It's
Well, there was a massive mistake.
whoosh.
I was just like, here's everything, kid.
Here's what we've got.
Yeah,
Here's the list of drugs.
Here's the menu.
So you don't agree with the DARE program. We're going to talk about that here in a little while. Give Tyler time to get back. Do you like Volkanovski or no?
Ooh,
Did you see Bryce Mitchell get knocked out?
I didn't.
Oh, it's rough.
Again?
Not
Not knocked out again, but this would be what, his third?
be a
loss in a row?
second or third loss in a row.
Yeah.
But
I
by
like Bryce too.
Bryce Josh Emmett knocked him out, man. It was awful. It was bad.
I like Bryce too.
I love
he's-
Bryce Mitchell, man.
I know people think he's a little out there. I just think he's passionate.
About his beliefs.
Yeah.
And I'm with that. I like Bryce Mitchell because of that too. He's I want some of them camo shorts.
Yeah.
I want some camo shorts.
He's real to who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what makes him a
likable person.
Yeah, exactly.
And some people hate him for it. They're like, oh, he's praying to Jesus. I love that he's praying to Jesus.
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
all this
Me
stuff, dude.
too,
I think it's
exactly.
so cool. I think Randy Brown's pretty good. But you mentioned BJ Penn earlier. That's a guy that I think is never going to get the credit he deserves because he was around and beating and fighting everyone right before the big show, man. And I just I hate that because all we've seen now is him be, drunk in public, fighting people,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It hasn't been great.
Well, if people only actually knew, though, I mean, there's a lot of people that have no idea
About how good Prime BJ Penn was.
It's not just prime BJ Penn, about BJ Penn alone, about BJ Penn's competitiveness,
That was crazy.
about what he was willing to do. There's not a lot of people to know that he fought Lyoto Machida at 205 pounds.
Yeah, he did.
Mm.
He lost a decision.
Machida was light heavyweight.
Yeah, well, Machida was light heavyweight. Yeah,
So BJ Penn was in the UFC, right? And he found out he was the bomb. He found out he was good, and he left. He went over to Japan because they was going to pay him more, and he just fought everybody. And he's like, "Hey, I am the best, man," and it's crazy. He came in one time. So, who was the? I can't remember his name. Who was the Asian champion that he knocked out?
I know who you're talking about. The redheaded
Yeah.
one.
I can pull it up. So this guy was like the first.
The reason I want to remember his name is because that's the one that Diaz fought when he was stoned.
You talking about Takanori Gomi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that not who we're talking about here?
Hang on a second.
Because
I'll tell
that's
you
who
for sure.
BJ Penn took to school. Like that was a slugfest in Pride.
It was now this guy was Cal Uno though. Yeah. So he was in the UFC, and he walks in to the fight. He throws like a flying knee on Cal Uno, or maybe just uppercut, and he sleeps and just Uno doesn't even know where he's at. And then BJ Penn goes, he runs out of the ring, just never even happened. He fought Sean Shirk.
Did the same thing. UFC.
He fought Sean Shirk, kneed him in the head, got blood all over his gloves. You know what he did?
Yep.
He was losing his mind. It was this Hawaiian guy that was just insane. So here's how his UFC career went. He went 3 wins before he lost in the UFC. He lost to Jens Pulver. He won 2. He beat Matt Serra and somebody. He won 2 in a row. He got a draw to Cal Uno in the one time. He fought Takanori Gomi. This is not his UFC career. This is just his UFC career in general. So 3 wins and a loss. 2 wins and a loss. He beat Takanori Gomi. He beat Matt Hughes. He beat Dwayne Ludwig. Dwayne Ludwig founded Bang Muay Thai. He beat Rodrigo Gracie.
The whole Alpha Male squad.
Crazy. So the next fight out, he lost to Lyoto Machida at K1. He beat Renzo Gracie at K1.
Mm-hmm.
After that, he
A
lost.
lot of people don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one.
He K1, yeah. Now Jeff will talk your off around K1. I do think sometimes when Jeff comes on, you need to come on with Jeff because they would have a good time. After that, he fought George St. Pierre and lost. He fought Matt Hughes and lost. He won 3 in a row, beating Jens Pulver, Joe Stevenson, and Sean Shirk. Joe Stevenson, you remember how bad that was?
Joe Stevenson, yeah.
Joe Stevenson was crying. Now, granted, fighting's emotional anyway, but Joe Stevenson was beat so bad that he was crying in the middle of the ring, and blood was just a crimson mask. He crazy beatdown, man. After he beat Sean Shirk, he knocked Sean Shirk out, and then he fought George St. Pierre and lost. But I mean, it's George St. Pierre. After that, he fought Kenny Florian and Diego Sanchez, beat them both. Beat Diego Sanchez. He split his wig really good too.
Good.
He kicked him in the head, and it was
still there.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. After that, he lost twice to Frankie Edgar, and then he beat Matt Hughes, and that was the last win. He lost to
Frankie Edgar was where he started to
put her out.
That was I remember being at Hooters watching that fight with my real dad, who I had just reconnected with.
That's cool,
man.
I'm sorry.
But I remember watching it, and we were watching the fight, and it was me and him, and then there was a guy to his right and a guy to my left, and they were sitting there talking about this guy's gonna murder the little dude, and I was like,
you got no chance.
I was like, I love BJ Penn, and I was like, but Frankie's, I was like, he's got them hands, and I was like, he's faster, and I was like, he's moving in and moving out.
Frankie's
Frankie's
a dog.
And that's exactly what he did. And then they had
Frankie just hit the Hall of Fame too.
Then they had another fight. Now I will tell you this though, when BJ Penn fought Nick Diaz and lost,
Yeah.
I still thought that it wasn't a massacre though.
No, I didn't think so.
But they treated it that way. That's why it bothered me. It was like I was like, you know what, you lost, but you didn't lose like you know what I mean? It went to a decision, and you didn't lose like you didn't get your, you didn't
get knocked out, you didn't get submitted.
You didn't get completely stomped into the ground.
So for me, the problem with BJ Penn is BJ Penn was a natural 55er. Had 45 been a weight class when he was around, he should have been able to make 45. But but then the last fights of his career, and I can say this for sure: John Fitch, Nick Diaz, Rory McDonald, all at 70. Never ever should have been at 70. Short of that, the Matt Hughes stuff.
Well,
but again,
145 didn't come in until after.
The reason I say the 170 shouldn't have happened is because we went from 170 where Matt Hughes was pretty strong and could wrestle really good to where like Rory McDonald can literally do everything good. What are we talking about? The skill levels are different. And then he lost to Dennis Seaver, and no one even knows who Dennis Seaver is.
Dennis Seaver? I know who Dennis Seaver is.
Yeah, no, but again, do you?
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying. For the most part, no one knows who Dennis Seaver is, and
he had some very good spinning side.
Yeah, he spin kicked a lot of people like to drop him to the body and stuff.
He was kind of like Kung Lee. Did you ever watch Kung Lee?
Yeah, he don't know who Kung Lee is. No idea, do you? But he's a movie star, Tyler.
Oh wow.
No.
But he's a movie star too.
Well, he's been in a couple movies. I wouldn't call him a star.
I bet in his country he's a star.
Maybe.
There you go.
But he was mainly a elite XC fighter.
Yeah, and Strike Force.
Yeah. But then he never did make the move to the UFC, did he?
Yeah, he did. He fought Rich Franklin, not Rich Franklin.
That's right.
He got so he got on the juice heavy, and he fought Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping don't like people that's on the juice. And Michael Bisping,
I've always been a fan of Bisping, even when people hated him. But I did cheer when Dan put him out.
Hits him a bunch, and dude, he looked like he had been attacked by like 4 or 5 people. He looked awful, shredded. Dude, his face looked crazy, man.
Here's the thing with BJ Penn, though, and it's crazy, but if you look at the timeline of what happened and how, it's something that makes sense, right? BJ Penn messed around. He
wasn't training as hard as he should have. He wasn't
ever,
dying seriously. He was just a natural.
But as soon as he started taking it seriously, as soon as Dana started riding his ass and calling him and checking up on him, that's when he started losing. Now think about it. I wonder if that his carefree thing is because there's a book called A Fighter's Heart.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the author is, but he went and trained in Shaolin, and they would do challenge matches, right? And or not Shaolin, Muay Thai. They would do challenge matches, and this was like his off week. He had just eaten, went out to eat, had 2 bowls of rice. He was full. He came back, and they were like, "Hey, this dude's here. You're gonna fight him." He's like, "What?" But I wasn't prepared for this. This was not. I just ate. I'm full. Whatever. But he kicked that dude's ass.
I get that. But now, for me, as far as fighting goes, I do pretty firmly believe that hungry fighters fight harder, for the most part. Now, BJ's life's a little different. So a lot of people don't know. BJ Penn came from a lot of money, like a bunch.
Yeah,
of money.
They were a very rich.
His family owns Hawaii. He came from a bunch of money.
When he
I think hungry fighters
still wasn't
fight better
up here. No, when he would run through Honolulu or wherever, I think it was Honolulu, right?
I'm not sure, but I know he was super proud of that Hawaiian heritage.
People throughout the city and the town would.
Yeah, he was like Rocky.
BJ,
he's like Rocky.
Yeah, he's like Rocky.
Now tell us about the IMDb credits, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over to the other side.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're good.
I worked in film, literally the whole time I did stand-up comedy, but I wouldn't. Obviously, you don't tell people that you're working in film with that you do stand-up comedy because suddenly you're not. Now you're talent. You can't work behind the camera anymore. And that's what I was doing. I was working my way up from production assistant, which I did. I did Super Science Showcase, which you can go to superscienceshowcase.com and you can watch all 5 films. And there's a spinoff film called Shock Loser Survive Camp Analog. And then there's a spinoff TV show of it called History Masters. Now, the first 5 movies of Super Science Showcase, I was the second assistant director under Emmy Award winner Walter Lee Fanning for the whole movie. Now, second assistant director means there's Lee, there's the first AD, and then there's me. So
That's cool.
So I worked my way up to that, and then doing the camp analog, same thing, second assistant director. But then when we did the history masters, Lee came to me and was like, what happened was when we did the camp analog, one of the days, because I would cut up with people, they knew, like, everybody liked me on the set. You know, the kids responded to me really well. And we had like,
You got good energy.
we got 40 kids. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We had like 40 kids, you know, and they're all supposed to be at camp. And their parents are there too, because they have to by law to keep an eye on them. And they all just responded to me well and liked me, and they thought I was funny. And so one of those days, Lee goes, take the phone, and this is on our Instagram, and I want you to do videos about us filming. And he was like, and I was like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, whatever you want. And I was like, whatever I want? And he's like, whatever you want.
Thanks, boss.
So I started out by doing, like, I was ducked out in the woods, pointing the camera towards where they were filming. And I was like, here, they're actors here in their natural habitat. You know what I mean? And I started messing around. And then I walked up to one of them and was like, can I interview you? And I kept calling him by the wrong name.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, it's Lorenz. And I said, that's what I said. That's what I said. And I made it funny. And then, so everyone I interviewed, and I did little things like that. And he was like, so when he hit me up for the next project was History Masters,
I'm listening.
he was like, I want you to be in it. And I was like, okay. Now I've done acting. I did a lot of acting when I was young. I did theater.
Mm.
And then, you know, I've done acting, done movie stuff. I've written scripts. I've sold scripts. So this to me wasn't.
We need Ray's help on that.
No, Ray is brilliant.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I've been wanting
We've got
to
an
talk-
idea that we're
wanting
not
him
going to
to
tell
talk.
anyone about yet. But
Well,
we have an
I'm
idea.
your guy.
Keep going, boss. I got you.
But so he was like, you know, he was like, it's no offense to you. He was like, if you want to work on the project, that's fine. And he was like, but I'd really love if you would be Jake in the show, you know. And he was like, he owns the comic book store, where everything takes place at. It's at the comic book store. And he was like, and the energy with the kids is he's silly, he's funny, he connects with them. And he was like, I think you would embody that well. And I was like, oh, okay.
Thanks,
You know?
boss.
And yeah, I was like, so I did that, and that's the only thing out of it so far that hasn't found a home yet. I guess I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's on the site, and you can see me. You can see my fat, pretty self.
We got to check that out and share that around. I got to see that, man.
No,
That's cool.
When did you?
Are you talking about the big movies that I worked on?
Well, yeah, but when did you start getting into LA and in the movie scene over there?
Okay, so I worked on a bunch of movies that were filmed here in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, North Florida, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, whatever. I worked on a few movies. I worked Scratch and Paint, John Travolta, Shania Twain, the country singer, and then
That's
Gotti,
cool.
which was also John Travolta, Bigger.
Wait, you worked on that?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Oh, Gotti?
yeah, that was filmed here.
I did not know.
Where
that.
at here?
And well, part was filmed here in Wetumpka, and part was filmed in Ringgold, Georgia. Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
And then you had Bigger, which was about the Weeder brothers.
Mm.
You know, the
Yeah.
weightlifting,
Yeah.
and it had a guy who played Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and we actually saw Arnold, who spoke to us on a television screen. I'm so very proud of all of you, and it's like, thanks. You can't see me, you don't know who I am, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, boss.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Right? But have you
Yes.
the TV show Superman and Lois? The guy who plays Superman in that show, he was one of the leads. He was the lead in the Weeder brothers. If you've seen Dunkirk,
Yeah.
the kid in Dunkirk was the lead in the Bigger with the Weeder brothers.
Oh wow.
And then you had so many stars on it, and it was we jumped from theater to theater. So I did that one. I did Inherit the Viper with Josh Hartnett.
I like Josh Hartnett. That's a handsome man.
He's a good dude.
That's aggravating.
He's
That's
actually
what I heard.
I was hoping he was awful.
he's a very good dude. Look, my favorite thing of him ever, was I was driving that day, the shuttle bus from our camp to the scene. And I was just like, yeah, I got it, no big deal, whatever. And I remember he jumped up in the van, and the first thing he said was, and this is not X-rated, so it's not bad, but he goes, it smells like weed out here.
Huh.
And I was like, and he goes, who still smokes weed anymore?
Ah.
And I was like, yeah, man, right? And he was like, I eat it. And I was like, so I pull out and I'm pulling up, we're going from one spot to the other. And I looked to him and I was like, it's just me and him. And I was like, you know what? I said, I really like Bunkaroo. And I was like, it's probably something you don't hear about often. And I was like, but my son and I talk about, my oldest, about you being a stranger, because that's the name of his characters, and that you're our favorite. Because he fights, but he just knocks people out with one punch.
What?
And if you're not strong too, he'll kill you with one punch. Like if you're just a regular person, bah, you're dead.
Like One Punch Man.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
But when you're a fighter, he punches you and knocks you out. But he also quit smoking cigarettes. So whenever he walks around somebody's got a cigarette, he reaches out fast and snatch and pulls it out of their mouth and goes, and then puts it back in their mouth.
Ah,
And that
it's called Bunkaroo.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
it's
this.
great.
I got to check that out.
So I'm telling him that my son and I were like big fans and that we've watched the movie like a million times, and I was like, I love it. And I was when I called my son and told him that I was on set with the stranger, I was like, he tripped out.
Lost his mind.
And he looked at me and he goes, you know how strange that set was? And I was like, no. And he was like, everything was green screen. He was like, dots everywhere. And he was like, but it was blue because the movie's all like neon backdrop and everything. It doesn't look real. It looks like you're watching. It's weird. But it's a good thing. It's all neon backdrop. But he was telling me how interesting that movie was to make and how much further he thought it would go. So he's sitting there telling me this in the passenger seat, and the assistant director, assistant director on this film, walks up and goes on the window and goes like that. And he looks at her and goes, and turns and continues speaking with me. And I was like,
wow.
He told you 1 minute. He's continuing the conversation. And I was just like,
that's Josh Hartnett, by the way.
Right. And then when he left, we did the rap party at it's a place in Birmingham. I can't remember the name of it now. But he had to leave. He had to fly back to London. He was living in London doing the Pennywise show. Or sorry, Penny Dreadful, not Pennywise.
Oh, I remember that show.
Penny Dreadful. So he lived over there with his wife. He was living in London. So he was leaving that night when we finished filming, and everybody's at the rap party. And they're all lining up to hug him and take pictures and everything like that. And he's going down the line, he's shaking hands and everything. And he literally gets to me, and I'm like the last guy. And he was like, hey, and I shook his hand.
What's up, man?
I shook his hand. And I was like, man, have a nice flight. And he was like, and he kind of stood there and looked at me for a second. And I was like, oh, all right. And I think it was odd to him that I was the only one out of all of them that was like, can I have a picture? Can we?
Yeah.
I was the only one that was like, have a good flight. And he was like, thanks. That's
cool, man.
So I wonder if he ever thinks about that one guy who was just like,
well, you rent that. It was pretty clean until the end, Tyler.
Oh,
we're gonna go over to No Smoking with Sam.
Okay,
sorry, we're gonna go over the Alabama Fighting Championship on YouTube. We're gonna be on Impartial Education on YouTube. Impartial Education on YouTube. IMPARTIAL Education. One more time, Impartial Education on YouTube, and then we're gonna be on the Alabama Grapevine on YouTube. Head on over there. We're gonna get a little rowdy about stuff and have a good time, man. Thanks for joining in.
Damn, Ray.
Yeah. This is life.
I was gonna be able to keep that on the Grapevine Facebook page. Now I can't.
Yeah, you can.
Not that part.
What part?
That part.
Hell no.
I thought
you were talking about this. I was like, I dumped it after you stopped talking.
No, not at all.
Oh, you can keep that.
I was like, this is my medicine.
Hang on, I got it. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I mean, I'd say we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Boom.
Yeah, that's a good story. That definitely needs to be on the Grapevine.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be on there. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
the
Josh Hartnett.
Oh yeah,
that's a good story.
It's so weird though, but like when I say it, my wife is always like, and I'm like, I do though. I wonder, and I was like, you're just mad because I wonder if he thinks about me.
Yeah. Well, it's Josh Hartnett.
Right? Oh, it's heartthrob, Josh Hartnett.
I hate how handsome he is the thing. I absolutely despise how handsome that gentleman is.
I had an idea to write a
He's
script.
very, very personable.
Well, if you're if you're FMK, you know, I don't cuss so much, but you know what I'm saying, Mary Kill, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you've got him, you've got
He's
some others.
definitely
He's
definitely the
and then
first
now
one.
that he's nice, it makes it even
He's
equally
definitely the
awful.
First one.
Now,
a
y'all-
lot of people said that he's a nice, genuine person. He's a genuine.
He does. He seems really down to earth. I think when somebody else, it seemed like when anyone else tried to act fake towards him, like, "Hey, how you doing this morning?" He was
didn't
like
that because he felt energy.
Yeah, he
energy.
was like, "Man, don't-
nah, don't come with
I'll
me.
let you want an autograph?
Yeah, don't come with me at that fake shit.
"Can I bring the beer in here?"
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah, it's good. It does look like I'm drinking, but I'm not.
Yeah, dude,
I love this thing.
that thing is awesome. Don't sell that.
Oh, never. No. The mugs I'm selling, the cooler I'm selling. I'm
Dude,
keeping that.
$1 for that.
Yeah, and I can look cool all day drinking
Are we
it.
live still?
Yeah, straight up live, $1. I don't even think he named his place, so I can't even
No,
brag
man,
about it.
I mean, I'm so glad I went there.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
my
welcome.
God.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
Tyler.
No, he's got all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, I gotta give you a gift.
Oh, you still ain't.
Oh, do it on the podcast.
Dude, look. Oh shit! You get it from there?
Yeah. I was gonna be careful with it, and you need a piece, and you'll have to do some work on it if you want it to be nice. But if not, you got some cool pieces. Be careful. There's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of stuff in there. T dog. Yeah. Right.
Oh. Oh, that's it.
That's gotta open.
Are you a Volk fan?
Yes. Love
Yeah.
Volkanovski. Dude, let Daddy see it. Give it to your daddy.
Oh, well, I see it. That's it.
Be careful.
Oh, is this a chessboard?
Yeah. It's
Oh.
busted, super
Asian
busted, but the
old
pieces are good.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Thank you.
Something.
You got it from there?
Yeah, dude, straight up.
Damn, that's badass.
I thought you'd like that.
Hell yeah.
Now, again, busted. Everything is
yeah,
just busted.
Yeah, but the pieces are good.
Yeah, the
Now,
pieces are good.
Is all the pieces here?
You're missing one piece.
What is it?
It's a horse.
Oh, it's a knot.
That's yours.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, it's Chinese.
Yeah.
Go see Mama. Tell
Me and my boys are playing chess a lot.
That's a.
I love chess.
It's a good sport. Is it a sport? You would call it a sport? We're not
Well,
calling
I don't know.
It's
It's
a
a
middle-
good skill to have if you go to prison.
It is. And it works your mind out.
I'm just being honest.
No, Ray, now
but,
you go ahead. Shoot it, Ray.
Oh
Do
no, I
your
was just
thing.
saying it's something good to know if you go to prison because there'll be a lot of chess playing.
Well, that's where I learned how to play chess was when I was a jailer.
Yeah,
No, seriously, I played with the inmates and they taught
I'm serious.
We know you did. We know you
We,
did.
our-
Tyler.
Let me guess. They were molded out of wet pieces of paper that were scrunched to make it semi look like whatever it was.
yeah,
No?
chess set.
Oh, what were you? Oh, well, I was in Shelby County and we couldn't have
Anything.
anything, so we had to mold them out a little.
Renato Moicano's on the card. That's a big one. Randy Brown was a big one. Randy Brown's a pretty good guy, and he's young.
Damn.
You hang out, you do your thing, but don't touch.
Yeah, that's nice. Those pieces are nice.
Ray, tell us some. You have any crazy stories about comedy or no? I also like Drew Dober, man.
Oh,
I like Drew Dober a lot.
He got all kinds of crazy stuff.
billions. I was just about to tell y'all though when we went and saw John Jones, Rashad Evans 2 in Atlanta.
That's cool. I was so young. I couldn't have went to that yet.
It was
Didn't have my own money.
2011. Oh, so I guess so. Yeah. Was it 2011? Early 2011, 2012, something like that. It was early on, but it was that was a crazy night because
You were white in Atlanta. Was it in Atlanta?
yeah, it was in Atlanta.
Yeah, and it got. I don't remember when Rashad and Rampage fought in Atlanta.
No, I didn't-
I bet that was wild
that,
too,
was that
man.
in Atlanta?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Atlanta. No, did you know that you've heard though? I know I'm off subject to what I was talking about, but you made me think of something. You know that Rampage is the only fight that John Jones was ever worried about going into.
I seen that.
He was a little bit afraid of.
Now, Tevin Brown, that Trevor fought, that's his nephew.
Tevin Brown. When did he fight?
That's
He fought it-
Jackson's nephew.
Yeah, Tevin Brown is
I
Rambo.
don't doubt it.
Might be his might be his son, but I'm thinking it's like a
Where
nephew.
did he fight him at?
Fought him at Valor show way back in the day.
Oh,
Fought him
like-
twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wait, he
Valor-
lost
Valor's a good
one.
promotion.
Oh, they're gone. They're out.
They're
But
1-1.
Yeah.
That is a good promotion.
Oh yeah, went 1-1. He
Yeah.
lost the first time, won the second one. Beat him up real bad the second time.
Do y'all know Joe Elmore?
I do in
Is
passing.
he a bare knuckle boxer in
He is
Georgia?
now. Yeah, he's now. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
an
okay.
MMA fighter in Georgia. Yeah,
He smoked people out.
Who?
he and I.
Joe would beat the mess out of people.
He and I. Dude,
That's what I hear.
look. He's not a big guy. Okay, and he doesn't hit the hardest, but he hits you so many times so fast that it's just like,
And
you
then
know
all
what
of
I
a
mean?
sudden,
And you're like, what?
and then you're stiff boarded. He
Yeah,
stiff boards
just-
a lot of people, man.
And then he does. Then he literally goes for a takedown and just he aims to ground and pound you out. That's just
He's
and
a
it
nasty guy.
usually with elbows. If
He's pretty good bare knuckle boxer though. Ain't he?
that's what I hear. I
He's
haven't
winning a
seen-
lot. He's winning a
Is
lot,
he?
man. He's
yeah,
winning.
he's blowing up.
He-
ain't he? Well, no, he was at the Redneck Brawl.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was helping them out or something like that in Georgia and Rome.
He's a good dude, man. He really
He
is.
seems
I know
nice.
he had a little bit of trouble with the law there for a little while, but it was
We all have.
yeah. We all
Not me. I've never been arrested.
Yeah,
Only-
but
I only ever wanted to be a cop.
Yeah,
That's my dream.
Yeah. You're
Ray, it's my
jealous.
dream, Ray.
You're
Now,
jealous.
we do have that page called The Grapevine. And the reason we try to keep that, stop, don't touch. Go to mommy. But and what
I meant to tell you though, that Rainville's, from what I can see, is pretty.
it's so pretty down here. It's such a beautiful
Oh,
place.
you need to see the canyon. I need to take you. To
Yes,
the canyon
dude.
tomorrow.
I'm down.
Ray,
Tomorrow,
you're here
I'll
all
take you
night.
to the canyon.
Oh, well,
Yeah, we gotta go.
We'll try, but I usually slip out early.
Well,
So does he.
Yeah, he was gone when I
Yeah.
slipped out at like
Because
6
I gotta
last
work
night.
and shit.
You were already
I
gone.
No,
Fuck,
you
dude.
slip out early
I
on a
got shit
Saturday.
to
You
do.
slip out early
It
on a
was-
Saturday.
It was a Sunday. It was
Yeah,
a
Sunday is what
Sunday.
he'll bring Nala over and we're like, oh, dude, we're going to hang out Sunday too. And all of a sudden I wake up like 4:30 to go pee and he's gone. Just
Gone.
out. I see y'all, dog.
I see how you are, man.
Yeah, he's in and out. He's out like a
No,
ninja.
when Nala comes over here, her and them girls stay up till 3 a.m. And I got on Nala's ass the other night when we was over here, and I was like, "Nala, go to bed." It's like 12, and she was like, "Okay." And then she was sleeping for church and stuff, and my mama was like, "Nala, what time did you go to bed?" She said, "Late. Don't tell Daddy, he'll spank me." And my mama was like, "You know better than that. You know your daddy don't spank you." And like, yeah.
Mine do the same thing.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
They act like I'm gonna beat
I've
them,
had
and
a-
I'm like, "When have I ever spanked you?" And then they go,
Oh,
You want to sit in
never.
here with her?
"Yeah," and then or my
You wanna sit on your
youngest,
lap
my
and
youngest
see
will
if
be
you
like, "All the time,"
Yeah.
and I'll be like, "Name once," and he'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Now, I've whooped my kids for sure.
No,
I've whooped their
I've
little
not
butts.
whooped-
No, yeah, no,
I've whooped
I am
Nala's
not
butts.
against that,
No,
and
not at all.
I've done
Not
it,
at all.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like I don't know, you get to a certain point, or you probably both know where it is not required anymore. They know when you get to that point, you look at them, you like stop. And they're like,
"Man,
That next stop is Dad busting my butt,
Yeah.
so I'm done,
you're not being cool at all."
How many
right? But I
kids
have a
you got?
12-year-old that's
Us too.
thinks he's a man.
How many?
She thinks she's a
okay.
grown woman. Ours
Sometimes I have to check Leo. Sometimes
He's
Leo's about my size now.
this one gets checked as well, and he's about to get. We play
Leo's
1-on-1 out in the yard, and I'm checking.
I keep
Yeah.
telling her she's gonna have to fight her 12-year-old, and she don't believe it. I'm like, no, dude, you got to square up.
Yeah.
Dude, I've told Elijah. Okay, so he's as tall.
This
as
is gonna be a good fight. This one is for sure. And you can tell the story and stuff, but this one will be good. Drew Dober versus Hanato Moicano should have been the main event in my opinion. Because I don't know the other two guys. I have no idea who they are. This is a good little fight.
Elijah is my height. He's tall. He's 12, and he's my height. And he's about to pass me. And I keep telling him, I was like, you know what happens when you get past me, though, right? He's like, what? I'm punching you in the face.
Huh?
And he's like, he believes me too, even though I'm messing with him. He's 100% set on it. Just like when we were at Christmas, it was like 12:30 at night. It's Christmas Eve. And we're all sitting up in the living room, and we hear pow, 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 pow. And my son looks at me and goes, "What's that?" And I said, "That's Santa. He's shooting all the kids that are still awake." And he was like,
no.
They both got up and went to bed.
Now, Drew Dober had a crazy record before he went to MMA, actually. Crazy record in kickboxing. Let me double up on you so I ain't lying to you. Don't want to lie. He had, oh, no, it wasn't. Hang on. I want to know just his kickboxing record. I need, what's Joe Rogan's guy? Who does he have?
Oh, what do you mean in this fight?
No, Joe Rogan when he says, pull that up.
Oh,
Jamie.
Jamie.
pull
I
that
need
up.
a Jamie. Jamie, pull this up.
Yeah.
Pull this up. I
Mm,
want to tell the truth on that.
I believe Jamie's abused.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think he's getting paid good?
He might be, but he's getting drug out back and getting his ass stomped a little bit. Probably.
Why? How?
You think
Roid
so?
rage from Rogan.
I don't think Joe Rogan abuses.
Joe Rogan.
No, but if do you ever watch Kill Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
You ever watch Rogan on Kill Tony?
No.
Watch him.
Yeah.
Just watch him.
Oh, he does.
He got coat jaw going.
And
And he'll be eyeballing the people that are up there doing their minute.
You think you're funny?
Yeah.
Think you're funny?
They are. The rest of the
pissed
people,
off at him like
the rest of the people will be like, "This dude's funny." And he'll be like,
yeah,
"Yeah, dude, he's got that look.
Yeah,
like, you think he's funny?" Now, every now and then he'll start laughing at a dude or whatever, think is funny, but he's got that. And that's what I think, dude. I love Joe Rogan. I think he's a great guy. But it's just like anything else. I think there's still parts you don't see of his life.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
really-
zero doubt. He's
I
good at
really
keeping that
and
behind the
truly,
scenes.
honestly believe that he's can be a very intense individual.
Well, I mean, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell me for a second, like if him and his wife arguing that he's incredibly just level-headed about it.
I don't think so.
What?
No.
What?
No.
You know what I could do to you?
Right?
$100 million.
Not only that, but see, you got to get through
We
that
don't know
iceberg.
that though. We don't know
You
each
got to
other.
get
I
through
don't
that
think
iceberg.
he-
I'm pretty sure he starts with all the people he knows and met. So like, you can't tell me. I've met with an expert on whatever. Like you could be talking about tampons. I talked to the expert of tampons. You can't tell me that. You know what I mean? So he starts with the expertise first, and then works his way into. I don't know, kick you in the face and knock you out.
And the thing is, he can. He's
Well, have
terrifying.
you seen that one of his point sparring kick knockout?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I think he said that was the last time he ever like really fought.
It scared him.
He like heel kicked this guy like to death, limped for like 6 days, a week, 2 weeks after it, and
It
like he
scared
thought he
him.
was dead, and he was like, I don't want to do that.
It scared him so bad that he didn't want to fight no more.
Now, have you ever heard the term badge bunny?
Mm.
Tyler, what is a badge bunny?
They bang cops. they take police
To a literal level.
To a literal level.
to a literal level.
They're like, oh no, they
Yeah.
mean it. They mean it.
No, there's plenty of them around here.
And then so it's like chuckle fugs. Notice I didn't say a cuss word. Do you know what those are?
I do.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah.
but for cops,
Yeah.
why would that be your go-to thing? Don't cops not make a lot of money?
No, they got power.
Ah,
They
the
got-
They got
power.
the uniform.
So now,
They got
like,
the badge. Yeah,
My
they
wife
got
is
badge
my
buttons.
wife has now asked me
They
to
got
dress
the
up as a
power.
cop.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
I know she'd want
and
that.
I do dress up as a
I
cop
know
now
she'd
for
like
my
that.
wife.
When you Vicky, like for Sam to dress up as an officer of the law, as an officer of the law,
And I tell her, I say, get your hands in the handcuff, Vicky Pooh, and she just she just melts.
Yeah.
Now wait,
I
wasn't
think-
there a cop? Now listen, I'll tell y'all a funny story.
The Vicky Poo. That's
Oh,
just-
dude,
I gotta
I've
get
got
my
the story
spitball.
for you.
I gotta get my spitball.
Oh, what was the cop's name? No idea. No idea, or do you know?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna tell a pretty good story here in a second. And they're gonna say that's why he hates the police. I don't hate the police. I don't. I just think the fact that some of them are the way they are is atrocious.
Yeah,
Huh?
no, I agree with that 100%.
No, ma'am. I love you. Hey, I drink a lot
Can
of
you
water.
squeeze or I need to hook, suck it in? No. He's like, no, not good.
I love you, baby. Look, now they're gonna say this is gonna be the new reason that I hate the police.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be the new reason.
Yeah, there's always a reason.
Mom, have
There's
you checked the
always a
sound?
reason.
Sounds good. Oh, I'll call it. But okay, so Vicky, when me and her first got together, Tyler, that is atrocious burp. Who burped?
Oh,
It was
that
you.
didn't burp?
Jeez, son, that was awful.
That's methane right there.
That's awful. Meth, more like it. But there was this
Tasted like Fritos.
so Vicky used to work at the gas station. Vicky's always been pretty. She's always gonna be pretty. She'll be pretty when she's 40. She'll be pretty when she's 50. Oh, dude, hang on, they getting after it, son. We're gonna watch Moicano and Dober, and then I'll tell you the story. I do wonder who's gonna win. Moicano's a little cleaner. Dober hits harder. No. Moicano's the cleaner guy. More well-rounded. He mixes everything up. Dober will crack your dome.
Dober in the yellow?
Yes. No, black.
Okay, so they're okay.
Oh, I love the hand fighting. You don't see it near as much as I think you should. Oh, clipped him.
Well, they're round one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Dober's fresh and cracking.
feeling out.
And gives me so much hope as a white person. If I can look like that guy, dude.
He don't want to stand up no more.
No, not at all. He got cracked. Dober's just a normal, handsome white dude, man. And I'm like, okay, if I can get jacked like that, bro. Did y'all see where the guys were fighting and one guy got submitted and he goes, I'm sorry I yelled at you, man. I wanted to fight more. And the guy goes, well, you shouldn't have submitted me then. Well, maybe you shouldn't have submitted me. Dober's good about everywhere. Older than I thought he was. I think he's like 36. I don't like when they stall on the ground. I do think knees to the head should be legal, and I think soccer kicks should be legal. Any like this right here, when it got a lot going on, I think that should all be legal. Hey, Willie.
Why did you let that go?
I think he's getting a full mount trying to.
Well, he's
Nope.
got the head and arm. All he had to do was go down. I mean,
But you got to wonder how strong Dober feels.
he looks strong.
Yeah. They're at 155.
If he's framing that hard, then yeah, but still, like right up, he keeps doing that.
Yeah, they're at 155 pounds, which blows my mind that he even makes
They
that.
look enormous.
That's crazy to me. I wish I had hair. I wish I just had some hair. Look, she thinks he's Santa. Well, Tyler, what are your thoughts on mushrooms, man, while we watch the fight?
I think they're good for you mentally health.
You got it?
Yeah.
Mentally, if what?
If you take them for spiritual purposes.
If you're not,
I mean, if you're not out in public, like I've done that, they don't work out in public.
tell
Good
now.
for me.
So now I'm gonna tell.
If you take a heroic dose, they do.
So Tyler,
Whoa, out in public?
Yeah.
in a what dose?
A heroic
on
dose.
my actually, if I gotta unlock it on TikTok, but there's a video. Of
Wait,
Shelby-
out in public. Well, see, I
Shelby
did
and
take a heroic
Shelby and
dose
I went.
out in Chattanooga, and that's what happened to me.
Shelby and I went and filed our taxes at Jackson Hewitt, and I recorded the whole thing.
Oh, y'all was
I
on
took
the
7
road?
grams for
Yeah.
that.
Oh no,
I
no.
got tased by the cops.
Yeah.
And got the shit beat
So,
out of me by
now,
a whole bunch of people.
Tyler
Yeah,
told me to
yeah,
come out and do
yeah.
stand up at the open mic. Well, I was dressing nice at the time. I was skinny. I was in good shape, man. So I threw on my cheetah print button up. I had on gold chain, had on my tight jeans. I was looking sharp, boss. Felt it. Dude, look sharp. Halfway there, I said, okay, I'm going to eat these mushrooms. Halfway there. A little handful, nothing crazy. Maybe a little more than a handful, but not like I'd felt mushrooms one time before this at this point. And to me, I just felt
You get the false sense of confidence.
Ah,
They give you the
yeah.
false sense of confidence that you can do anything.
I wrote
Yeah.
all my jokes out so I
Yeah.
couldn't lose them. I get there, I'm vibing with everybody. I'm fine. I'm getting along. I'm high-fiving. I'm shaking hands, saying, hey, I'm in my zone, man. I love being around people like this. And we're buddies now. I enjoy this, right? I get stage fright too, so that's part of the problem. But like this, just talking is fine. So I get there, I'm doing all this. All of a sudden, I'm up. Dude, I got this, bro. Now, let me backtrack. Halfway to the place, I start feeling that earth energy, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I called my dad. I was like, dude, sometimes we just got to handle our shit and do it, man. We got to do what we're supposed to do. And I'm doing that right now, man. I'm going to go swing at the ball, Pop. And he was like, okay. No idea why I'm talking like such an idiot.
Yeah.
You're not even any good. You didn't even swing. You know, I'm like, I gotta go. And I hang up with my dad. Vicky's in the car. Vicky drove me there. And I know she's like this idiot.
That's how Hollywood.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So we get there, and it gets to be my turn. And I go, dude, I got this. It's done. And I hop up on the stage. I see the light, and I see the people, and I go,
It's different.
Okay.
It's different. I will never.
well,
do
but
that
I had
again.
already done the. Oh
Yeah.
no, okay, I get what you're saying.
I would never
Now,
do that again.
It wasn't the stage fright. Stage fright is a thing for me, so that's part of it. But also part of it was like, What's going on?
I got this.
So yeah, and then I didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm gonna hey, stop, or I can't say anything crazy. We're online. But so I grab my notes out of my pocket. I grab my phone and I go to my notes, and I've studied them like throughout the weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go to it. I'm like, I'll kill him with this first one. I'll really get this first one. And I look at it and I go, man, it's hieroglyphs from the Egyptians. Hey, there's waves going like this, Ray. And I go, oh no. And Vicky, bless her heart. So I reached over to Ogre and I said, Ogre's here. I'm trying to kill the time out, man. I'm like, Ogre's here. He's a really cool cat. And Ogre's like, what's up, man? I'm like, thanks, Ogre, for digging me out of the hole for 30 seconds. And then I couldn't get nothing out. And Tyler and Vicky, bless her heart, she goes, just tell the joke. And I said, which one? And she said, I said, about the pedophile. And she goes, yeah. And I was like, I can't. And she said, just read the paper. I said, that's the problem. I can't read it, man. Oh, dude. That's when I knew, like, it's going to feel great. But dude, at some point stuff turns into hieroglyphs. It gets wavy, man. You can't get it out. I got a couple of like giggles and stuff, but it was like, it just didn't happen. I called Trevor after and I was like, hey, try, again, I'm out in Huntsville, just everything's bigger and wider. And I'm like, what's going on? And he said to me, and I know he could tell, he goes, you're pretty out there, huh? And I said, yeah, I've never been here before. And then Tyler did a show and I told Tyler about it. And then one day we were doing a show somewhere and I seen Tyler's eyeball.
It's an open mic.
Yeah.
It's an open mic.
I seen
this is the first time.
yeah.
Time.
Oh, I seen
will
him.
Never do that again.
And I seen him, and what did I tell you? I went up to Vicky and I seen Tyler's eyes, and I said he's not going to be able to read his notes. And she said, "How do you know?" And I said,
"No, I just know." It just everything went blank. They give you a false sense of confidence.
A huge false sense.
Well, the thing about it is they give you unearned wisdom.
Yes.
It's like seeing the mountaintop, but getting there with a helicopter.
Never actually walking
never
up
climbing it. Never none of that shit.
I asked Tyler.
I
asked Tyler. I said, "What'd you do, man?" He goes, made a couple mushrooms, man."
I thought it was going to be great. I thought this was going to be a great experience.
Well, it felt like it was going to.
It does. It feels like that, but no, it's
Do you think that you were that the stage fright was from that?
No, I have stage fright anyway. Fighting.
You want a cure for it?
Yeah, please.
Go ahead.
Tell me to eat 8 grams.
No, it's nothing you gotta eat or nothing like that. It's something that's extremely simple, and you're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but when you do it, it's gonna change your whole world.
Please go.
Okay. You can't be scared when you're angry.
So go ahead and get fired up.
Imagine the entire audience has pissed you off. And now you got the microphone and you get to go tell them what's up.
I do the best when I'm like that.
I do the best
when you have that feeling, nobody in the audience, you're like, screw you guys.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
I do the absolute best when I'm like that.
And you will slay from there. And it'll be
because when I fought Honey Badger, I was heated.
Have to say, like, I just gotta get really mad. I just gotta get really angry.
Yeah. And then channel it.
You want that smoke, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When you truly don't give a shit.
And it comes out like, go with it.
Your wife's fat, but it's okay because so am I. Just roll.
Bobcat went with it. Go with it.
Who's Bobcat?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, okay, I got. Okay, I've heard the name. I'm not as in the comedy like that. I don't follow it like that. I follow it. The biggest reason I follow is Tyler.
That's probably
I got you.
Newer one.
I got you.
He leans into his anger. It's funny.
Who's the is Bill Burr? Bill Burr's angry.
Yeah.
He's always. You like Bill Burr? What was that? What was that? Yeah. What was that?
I like Bill Burr, but there's some Bill Burr that I don't really care for.
Okay. Like not prying, just curious.
I don't mainly when he goes off on these like unhinged little tangents that are they just show like I want to give an example, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But it's they kind of show you that he's a little bit removed from the real world.
Okay, I get what you're
because
saying.
he's rich.
Yeah,
Because
so he's going off on something that you're like,
no, I'm there.
What?
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah,
Like
exactly.
when-
You're like,
like
what?
when my maid just
Yes, when my
forgets to
maid
clean
did
a
this.
spot. Yeah. Like,
But see, that's how I feel. That's why Kevin Hart fell off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Kevin Hart
Well, the
got.
money changes people. Like
Well, that's
Connor.
what-
Yeah.
Well, see,
Connor's
see,
different now.
but
McGregor's
see,
way
yeah.
different now.
But see, you could take like two comics. We'll take two comics, right? You take Kevin Hart and you take Dave Chappelle. What's the difference in those two?
Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle he stayed about the same way forever, in
Yeah,
my
but
opinion.
no, I'm talking about their lifestyles.
Oh, I
So
don't.
Kevin Hart became famous and he leaned into it. He became famous and he became friends with sports stars. And he became friends with movie stars and he started starring in movies.
And he started
Which is
talking
great.
about that.
Yeah, which is great and that's fine. But then
Congratulations
when
on
you
the money.
go and do a special like you did during the pandemic in your basement,
Yeah.
it was shot in his basement with people at tables set up like a comedy in his basement. But yet that was a laugh track because nobody laughed. All those jokes.
That was a laugh track.
That was a laugh track. All of those jokes are so far removed from basic reality of a regular person
And that's who wants to laugh, man.
that we don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. It's funny to you, but we've never had that. We don't know what you're. So that's, and then Dave Chappelle lives in a house in Ohio, in a town, and he roams around like he's not famous. Like he's just another townsperson. Life to him is exactly the same as it is to us. That's why he's still in touch with people. Now, I'm not exactly happy with Dave Chappelle right now.
Well,
Him saying that Cat Williams, did you see that?
I love Cat Williams.
He
saw
said
that.
Cat
I love
Williams
Cat
was wrong, and I was like,
Nah, I
Dave,
love
you're
Cat
wrong. I'm
Williams,
sorry.
man.
I'm
glad
sorry.
Cat
I
Williams-
get that.
I mean, I love Cat too, and I wouldn't try to compare Cat and Dave. I think Cat
They're
is
completely
funny.
different comics.
They are.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Dave is up
Yeah.
up here. But
well, Dave's on Mount Rushmore? No.
yeah,
No?
Dave's definitely
Yeah,
right.
yeah, okay.
Well, the only reason is, and I've told people this before, and the reason is because Dave, when you listen to Dave Chappelle, you hear Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy, and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
He's everyone. If you think about it, listen to the way I can't say the words, but he even says
You can. Yeah, you're good. She don't
No,
know
no.
what's going on at all.
He says GD exactly
Oh,
the
yeah.
way that Red Fox says it.
Yeah.
He says motherfucker the way that Richard Pryor says it.
Ray, I want to be clear on something. You can say whatever you want on the podcast. The only thing is I don't cuss now. Is all. Nothing changes.
That's, okay.
Yeah, you say whatever
Well,
you
I'm
want. That
gonna
way
be
you get it out.
respectful, though,
No, but
you
don't
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
though.
but don't
So-
take away from your stories. Do your thing, brother.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, but if you listen, it's literally Red Fox, who early on he was the blue comic that the records were in the back
I love
shelf.
Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
I
A lot of
grew up
people
watching
I
that
didn't.
with my
I
dad.
didn't. I didn't
grew up
like.
watching
I
that
didn't
with my
like Sanford
dad.
and Son. I
loved
thought Red
it.
Fox was funny. I didn't like Sanford and Son. I just didn't like it. I just didn't care.
Well, you had Red Fox, and then you had, like I said, Richard Pryor, who pulled for Red Fox. If you watch at my house right now, I have a DVD of Richard Pryor's very first ever recorded stand-up set. And you know what? It's horrible.
Oh no.
Really?
I swear to God, I'll let you borrow it, dude. It's horrible. I won't say, I mean, like, not completely. There's some funny stuff. But you can tell this dude is just starting. He's just starting out. And he's young, and, he's got, fro, and he look no wrinkles or nothing. And, but there was a little bit of inklings of Red Fox in there. And I was like, ooh. But then it kept on, though. If you watch, when he got into his realizing that storytelling was his, forte. And then he realized that that's what, I'm just going to be honest about my life and kind of go along with the stories, gave the crack pipe, a name and a voice and stuff. But still, it was funny, you know what I mean? But it's still, that's Red Fox.
What-
And then Eddie Murphy came along and he absorbed Red Fox and Richard Pryor and did his thing. I mean, it literally is like a pass on. Cat Williams, the reason I respect him and love him so much, not only is his honesty, even though there was some bullshit thrown in there. I don't care what anyone says.
In the interview?
In that, yeah,
Almost
and the sharp
undoubtedly.
interview.
Yeah,
It was a
I mean,
lot.
Yeah, there was a little bit of pepper bullshit in there, but for the most part, I believe, especially everything he said about everyone else, was true. The stuff he boasted about himself, I was like, some of it, I was like,
Like he runs a 40 and 4.5. Yeah,
Come on,
right.
Well,
Yeah,
man,
right.
I think that's a joke, though.
You read 3,000 books in a year. I don't know.
No, he didn't.
Well, no,
Right.
he does have a IQ of like 163.
No, he has an alleged IQ that's not been verified. The only thing that's been verified is he did get an actual scholarship to the University of Science Institute
That's cool
when he
though.
was 12 years old.
That is cool.
But that's why I believe that maybe, I don't think he read 3,000 books a year, but I'm going to say he read a bunch of books. I'm going to say he was smart.
It's a picture book.
But that's where it falls off for me. He says from 12, then at 13 years old, he left Missouri, wherever he was at, and he moved to Florida by himself, became like sort of a pimp and made millions of dollars. And I was like, no, sir.
Not as a pimp.
No, and not even as a 13-year-old. No, sir. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
No, sir. So you slept outside of a Circle K is what you're trying to say. And then you became a comedian and made it. Just say that, right? Just say that. Don't fill in with, you know what I mean? You're doing great, Kat. Don't fill in the cracks with some bullshit.
What do you think about Dane Cook?
Oh, I don't. As a person,
As a comedian?
no.
I was like 14, 13 when he came out, and I thought it was funny.
I was 20.
Yeah. But he
Like,
does a
how
lot
old
of
are you?
physical comedy, and a lot of people calls that hack comedy.
Why?
Well, man, I mean, physical and he does observational, but that it's kind of like observational, but it never lands anywhere like it does. Even though Jerry Seinfeld's a bad example, he makes an observation and then tells you why. It's funny. Dane makes an observation.
I got you.
See what I mean?
I'll have to watch him back as an adult, but as a kid, I thought it was hilarious.
Well, that was his audience, and then teenage girls.
Okay,
Those were his audience.
Well, that's
Have
like,
you seen him now?
yeah, he's kind of creepy, dating a super young girl.
I don't mean any disrespect to him. He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's got a cool story with his brother stealing all that money from him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it a cool story, but yeah, he's got a
Well,
story.
now I kind of link the way y'all are talking about his comedy, like being directed towards kids. I put the same way with Lil Wayne at the time. Do y'all listen to Lil Wayne now?
Yeah.
Do you listen to Lil Wayne today?
Much now.
Not much. I don't even know if
But when I was
anything
in high
new
school,
that.
Yeah,
did.
but when you was in high school, you did. It kind of like I can't think of any adult that was like, dude, let's bump the new Lil Wayne album. You know what I mean? No, that was directed towards us.
True. That's true.
And that's weird to me that you can take stuff that's inappropriate and market it to kids.
Dane was okay though. Dane had a hook, and he knew that
he rode that wave for a
kids,
second.
and he knew that teenage girls and college girls were extremely into him because he was a handsome looking guy back in the day, and that's what he rode. And he rode that because if you ever watched it, not only do I do stand-up comedy, I study this. I think he knows a little bit. I study it. My wife will tell you how many times has Ray seen Killing Me Softly? She'd probably be like, I don't know, 1,000. And she literally walks around the house and asks me daily, why are you listening to this again? Because it's funny.
Yeah.
And because I'm not just listening, I'm studying it. I'm learning it. The pauses and the moments that where sometimes a joke doesn't have to be that funny. It could just be told.
It's the timing. It's the timing.
It could be told that
it's
funny.
the timing.
Jim Carrey
deliveries.
Notoriously his stand-up. If you go back and then if you go back and take all of his stand-up and then said, Tyler, here's all of his stand-up, memorize it, and then go up on stage and do it, nobody would probably laugh at Tyler. It's because Jim Carrey wasn't telling jokes. He was saying funny things in a funny way.
What about Zach Galifianakis?
Zach, he's kind of in the middle. He says stuff in a funny way.
That's what I think.
Pockets. But he's also got some pretty damn good jokes.
That's damn.
I was thinking of sorry. Why can't I remember his name now? Big pale dude. Zach Galifianakis. What were you saying about him?
Like where would you put him? I feel like he's kind of a guy that says things in a funny way. Like I've watched one of his stand-up things, and he was just acting like he was drunk at the piano.
Yeah, that's no. His is being as absurd as possible. He's a shock comic. It's he wants you to not expect what he's about to say.
Between Two Ferns, I thought was genius.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought that
it's
was
great
genius.
stuff. Zach Galifianakis is great. Even some of his older stand-up is great. But as a stand-up comedian, you gotta understand that he knows probably already. There's sets of comedians that want different things.
Yeah.
And there's an enormous group that as soon as somebody walks up to them and offers them a sitcom, buy stand-up, buy.
Yeah.
I'm gone. That's what they wanted.
Because that's
Then
the check.
there's stand-up comedians that are like, I want stand-up. I'll do a sitcom, but stand-up is I'm coming back to this.
I get that.
And believe it or not a lot of people know it, but that's what Seinfeld did. He had record numbers on the final episode of Seinfeld. He stopped Seinfeld. I don't like Seinfeld's comedy.
No.
I don't think he's funny. As a matter of fact, the last stand-up that he put out on Netflix a few years ago was the funniest I'd ever seen him. And oddly enough, it was the dirtiest I'd ever seen him. Yeah, he cussed and said some stuff about sex and stuff. It was like,
Jerry Seinfeld?
yeah,
Ah,
it's weird. Go watch it. It's
Do you
weird.
think of comedy?
That's Ray Romano.
I think of comedy like a puzzle. I think of it kind of like a puzzle. And it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done mentally. Stand-up comedy. It's hard, but it's easy. If that makes any sense at all. It's easy.
Like how? Like how's it hard and how's it easy? And
hard by being okay, because I get in my head too much.
yeah, I can see that.
That's the
Can't
hard
live in
part. No, I can't live in there. That's the hard part, is getting out of there. But when I'm out of there and I've got my set, got everything that I want to talk about, and I'm just talking and I'm comfortable. When I'm comfortable on stage and I get that damn pissed off feeling or whatever, and don't give a shit what anybody says or thinks about me or whatever, that's when it's easy for me. That's when it's easy. But when it's hard, it's like, what will these people like? No, I can't be there. I can't be in that mind state at all.
yeah, you
Comedy is an outlet for me.
what
It's an outlet.
I turned my
It's
bed
an
into a puzzle one night by eating mushroom chocolates.
Oh, I believe that.
Couldn't find my way into that bed to save my life.
Yeah.
Oh, son. Hey, how am I going to lay here? How does it work? How does it happen? Awful, awful, awful time. But I can see how you mean. Oh, have y'all seen the Sphere in Las Vegas? Back there, top left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to go to that thing so bad. I can't
looks neat.
stand it. They've got Spheres in Las Vegas, Spheres here and here and here. And the UFC's planning a show in Las Vegas. This is crap. This is
The Slap
garbage.
Fest.
I don't.
can't believe it's still on.
No, I
I
can't either.
can't believe people.
I'm
is actually
embarrassed for
doing
Dana
this.
White. Like, what were you thinking?
Well, you know what he said the other day?
Did you
He's
and your wife get into a slap fight, and you're like, "Hey, idea."
well, Dana's the
I'm
first
gonna
champion.
buy it.
Hey, baby.
He's the first champion.
He said the other day, he said if you take all the numbers for the UFC, football, basketball, soccer, everything, he took everything. He said you take all those sports and you multiply them by 4, Power Slap still has bigger numbers on Instagram. And I was like, geez, you can't believe that.
Okay, even if we did believe that, that's the only flex he has. Though, is
That's
Instagram.
it. That's it. No one thinks it's a real sport. It never should have been sanctioned.
Well, I agree, and that's the problem, though, is that he's like, it's the #1 thing on Instagram, bro. You're listening to what you think is the majority of people, when in all actuality, it's a very small percentage.
Amen. I get what you're saying.
That's why people change things over Twitter. Companies will change their direction, their campaign, their slogan over what is said on Twitter, and they don't realize that, hey, man, that's only maybe 5% of the population.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to them.
What do you think about the dating show? You thought that was a good idea or no?
The one that you pitched about I told you, like, straight out, dude, I would tune in every single day if you did it, because that would be the greatest.
Like we're gonna get some good from it, and some of it's gonna be hilarious.
But
Mom, bring me the
that's what I'm
scissors,
saying,
please.
hilarious. You've got to make it funny. You got to make it comedic.
Oh, I think just real though.
Yeah,
And
I think that's the comedic.
I think as long as it's real, we're gonna have a
that's the
couple of true
comedic
love
part.
stories for sure. But then every now and then we're
That's
gonna
the
get like,
comedic part.
hey, it's gonna get some.
No, I'm
Because I can't even act it out.
How are you? But with what you're implementing, you can make it funny by whatever you decide. That's the game or the whatever it is. Let's see if y'all connect. Whatever you use for that, that's up to your imagination, and it could be the funniest,
Bring him here, Connor.
craziest, nuttiest thing there is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do like all kinds of things. Like, I mean, it would just be, sadly, but I'm just being honest. If you want to know, truth
Yeah,
be
listening.
told,
There you go. Got you some more room.
if you're trying to get views and whatever, you got to cause controversy.
Oh yeah, we know that now.
So that would be fabricated controversy. So you would either have to, they would have to be in on it, or you would have to make something happen that would be, and then people would be like, "Oh, I want to see."
Turns out this is actually your sister, John. Oh,
Yeah, be like,
yeah.
"Oh my god!" And be like, "You still into it?" And he's like, "Yeah,
a little.
this is Alabama." Yeah,
Now-
right.
Now I do think that's a good idea, and we're going to talk about that some more and kind of see where we can go with it. Do y'all remember?
You should totally do that.
All right.
Because when you sent that to me, I was in my seat at my chair and I went, oh, just like that. I
Heck
was
yeah.
like, that's a
We're going to try that out. We're going to get together on that. Now, as far as the, I'm going to go ahead and say it because I want to, and we can talk about it while we're here for a little bit. I know y'all are going to go over to Roy's. What time do y'all going to be at Roy's? It's like 20 now.
Yeah,
I'm 30, right?
We wrap it up.
About
Or
10.
9.
About 10 minutes good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell, we've been on for what?
About 4 hours.
Yeah.
But we've been having
now.
a damn good time.
I've had a great time.
I have.
I think,
I've got to show you this though.
yes, for
If
sure.
you haven't already, did you? I never sent it to him because I wanted to wait until I saw him.
Now the TV show that I'd mentioned to you about I think that's a good idea. Me and you talked about. We ain't talked to you about Ray yet. But we
All right, let me hit you with this first.
Yeah,
'cause
do
I
your
think I
thing.
wanna get to it. Yeah. All right. So, you sure you didn't tell him about this already?
I can't think of nothing he would talk. It's like a picture of my wiener from 10 years ago.
No.
Well, Tyler, joke's on you. I was a
wouldn't
child.
ever look at that. Yeah. Oh, who's that?
Yeah. Did you not? So you didn't send him to? You don't remember?
No.
I guess. All right. Well, Alex Jones. You know who that is?
Yes.
Has a video game.
Oh, that's cool.
Has a video game where he goes through and. Right.
Yeah.
Who is that, my friend?
That kind of looks like me.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like
That's
me.
you,
Let's
brother.
say again.
Look.
Kinda,
That is. I'm
that's
saying.
that's kind of
And
wild.
what did I do when I first saw this? I sent it to him, and I went, "Does that look like Sam?"
No,
or
I don't
what?"
remember that.
You don't,
Tyler, does it like me or not?
Tyler.
Y'all gotta remember.
I'm about to show you. I'm about to show.
Okay.
So
I believe
it's
it.
in your.
I believe
Hold
it.
on. He's
But
like, wait.
sometimes-
No,
pretty
no.
wild.
He's like, I believe you.
Well,
I believe
I'm
you.
gonna show you
Hold
one
on.
right here. You keep going. Keep
Okay,
going.
okay.
I'm gonna
He's
show
gonna
you.
look, brother. Look. This is who's that? That's
me. That's
and
me.
then I said, you said, God, it does.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now this is not a great one, but they think I look like this guy too. My coworkers do.
You do. You
Arn-
yeah, you favor him.
Arn Anderson. Now, if
no,
that, I can
Arn
be flattered.
Anderson, that profile
Yeah, in
picture.
real
that
life.
Was,
Yeah.
That was you.
In
People
real
think-
life, you got some Arn Anderson going on.
I
dude.
think we think he might be my dad. My dad was a pro wrestler for a while, and we think he probably got hold of mom somehow, some way. And because everybody says it now, but that's insane. I didn't see that coming.
Dude, I thought it was great though. Like, take the whole Alex Jones thing out.
Oh,
Even though
yeah.
I like Alex Jones.
Well, I would have
He's
thought
great.
you would have made that. I was like, hey, made that of me. Thanks, right?
No, but you should use that, man.
I checked that out. You send me that sometime.
That
That's
looks
cool,
to me
man.
like Sam's like, let's go.
I'm super pro America.
Right.
America. Now, so a TV show we kind of got an idea for. There's a few people. There's me, Mr. Brewer. I've talked about it with Tyler. I think Roy's maybe going to be on board. If you talk to him, any?
Yeah, I ain't talked to him yet. But,
Talk to him.
What do you need?
We want to do
I can do top to bottom.
we want to do politicians in a small town, and almost as real as possible. But have you ever watched the debate? Not is it the debate with
Yeah.
Will
with Zach
Ferrell?
Galifianakis
Yeah.
and
The campaign.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
the campaign? Almost like that.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad, but
Well,
close.
that wasn't small
Are they
town.
based on
If
real
you want to
life
do
politicians
small
around
town,
here?
it's Puxawanna. You want to do Parks and Recreation. That's what literally what.
Yeah, we like The Office. We want to do it, but here,
Parks and
But
Recreation.
and-
yeah,
based
same
on
thing.
real life
yes,
politicians
Yes.
here,
yes,
but not their name.
no. Like, well, for
You
example,
can't. That's
no,
you
but say we have a local politician that likes to drink and drive. We
you
need
can even dress.
we need to go
exactly
through
like the
that.
person.
We need to go through that,
Make
and
somebody that looks exactly like
Or
them, and
somebody
Yeah.
who
just
damn
can't call them
fights
exactly.
people in their yard.
yeah, an officer that might have had like a falling out with a buddy,
Oh,
and
I
he
thought
had to
you were
fight.
talking crap about me. I was like, dude.
No, they had to fight. Say maybe they had like a how far can
Extramarital.
yeah,
affair.
yeah, an out of marriage kind of affair. An officer did, and then they got in a fight with someone instead of arresting them or something in the yard. We can work through that. We can work through a lot. There's plenty of stories that we can work through, and it just be us just clowning, having a good time.
Hey, here's a real pitch though. You wanted to be a cop, you were a cop.
No, I never wanted to be a cop.
No, he did.
It's gotten
you
him. I
lie.
never
Don't
went-
you dare lie.
The only time that so I
You
worked.
literally said it earlier.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
it's a joke.
So for a second, I worked at the jail for like a year, 6, 7, 8 months to a year. And like when I was there, I was in really good shape because I was fighting all the time. I was that guy, different person. I was super up on my weight, everything. Oh, different guy, man. I was super ready doing all this stuff. I was running, and like the natural next step from jailer was, okay, I'll go try to be a cop. So I went and ran for Rainsville, and I was like, I did my push-ups, did my sit-ups, and like this, I thought for sure that we were trying out for the position. I thought for sure that's what this was tryouts, man. Interview went good. I got invited back to do the run, the push-up, sit-ups. That's what I did. That's what we did, the PT test. So I get the PT test, and it gets the run. And the run was all I was worried about. But, dude, I was running Carlisle. I was running
Mile and a half.
Yeah, dude, I was running. I was running Burnt
yeah.
Church. I was running a lot. And so I said, once the mile started, I said, I'm going to start ahead of everybody. 0 doubt. And I said, if they catch up, I'll speed up. I said, but I'm starting ahead, and I know I'll get my time. So I started ahead. There was a big guy, a girl that was a little bigger, and a few other people. Lapped them. I said, ain't got nothing. Wow. It gets to like the 6th lap, and I'm like, what up, dog? I need that job, Mr. Sir. I'm like begging for a job. Was I not? My kids were there, like in the background, hanging out.
Half mile lap.
Yeah, 1.5 miles, man. I was done. You know what I mean?
I meant
I probably lapped them by a half a mile. Yeah. I lapped them up. It wasn't close. Some of them didn't finish. And like, I was just like, dude, I got the job. I need that job, dog. I was so excited. I had beat everybody. I got the job.
Don't tell me they said your time was.
They gave it to someone else that didn't finish. They sent him to the academy. Nice guy. They sent him to the academy, and he couldn't graduate the academy because he couldn't run. Still not a cop today. They even let him go be a cop.
Why was he family to someone?
He had a buddy in. He had a buddy on the inside, man.
That's how it is.
They let him.
That's how it is.
They let him.
I know.
They let him be a cop while he was in the academy. Come to find out he couldn't run. And I like this guy. Me and this guy get along great. We're cool. I can't hate on him for having a buddy inside. But it's not that's the problem. That's the only time I tried that. And they say that's like, well, he just wanted to be a cop, and that's why he's mad. No, y'all silly people. The problem is because I did not have a friend with a name or a friend on the inside that I didn't get the job.
Dude, that's
so far removed from what I even gripe about anyway.
That's the same with many things. But quick story, I did the same thing as soon as I got out of the Navy.
Cool.
I moved back in with my fiance in Montevallo, and I was like, I'm going to become a Montevallo cop.
I'm ready.
And I rode along with a guy for 4 weeks.
No.
And they were talking about how, like, in the last week of the month, even if they're 4 over the speed limit, pull them over.
Give them that ticket, son.
And I was like, okay. And this is all like, I'm being taught literally in 4 weeks.
Being taught to be an asshole.
Well, I'm saying first off, when I told my dad, who's a firefighter, I was like, I'm going to be a Montevallo cop. And he was like, oh, cool. He was like, you going to the academy? And I was like, no, they do. You ride along with them for a month, and then they give you a car. And he was like,
academy though.
No, you don't. And now you do, but then you didn't in Montevallo. Listen. And I went,
Tyler.
I went, no. It's not.
I give him grief.
I told my dad, I was like, no. They were like, it's OJT. Like, run with me for however long. And it was supposed to be 4 weeks. We show you. And then you do okay. They literally give you a car to drive out. That's the thing I was excited about the most. That's how messed up the shit was. I didn't have a vehicle. I was living with my
I need a vehicle.
Yeah,
I need a car.
I'm gonna be a cop, so can
I
have
got
the car?
it.
Can I bring it home? Can I go to Big Burger King in it? That's my
Can I go grocery shopping?
But so 4 weeks in, they were like, we got to stop all this, and it's like, we can contact you back. And they were like, but something's going on with the department. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? And literally I'm wearing my own khakis and my own dress shoes.
Yeah.
This is what they told me to wear. And then they gave me this polo button down that had Montevallo Police
It was like,
Department.
looked like it's a big, dumb, stupid
Yeah, I
child.
didn't understand. Like, I'm in the passenger seat of the car, and then whenever Jerry was like, "Get out," and I was like, "Why? I look like a probation officer. Like, why am I walking up with you?"
They
Like,
did the same thing
"He's
to
the
us at the
cop.
jail.
I'm here for I'm your lawyer."
They
by
did.
the way.
They did the same thing to us at the jail. They had the cops dressed nice, and then we was wearing like green khakis and crap black shoes and like a black button-up polo. Dude, it was awful. Keep going. I'm
Well,
sorry.
no, it's all good. When you see, so I was like, they literally we went back to the station.
This is the
I
main
live
event.
right
Also,
outside, by the way, of Montevallo Police Department. Now I live right outside of it, and so we go back to the station. They were like, "Go home. We'll call you tomorrow."
yeah, you big dumb idiot
They
wearing
didn't
that
call me-
stupid.
They didn't call me the next day. They didn't call me the next day, and I was like, "I think I'm fired." That's what I'm telling her. I was like, "I think I'm done." I was like, "I don't know what I did."
Hey, you know,
I
call
think-
no show.
And then Brienne, my fiance at the time, was like, "What did you do? Be honest." And I'm like, "I swear to God, I didn't know that." And they're like, "Did they make you piss in a cup?" And I was like, "No, they didn't. Like, I did like a couple weeks ago, but no, like no." So, but this is what happened, and it's funny. You can look it up. It turned out the entire department got put under investigation,
Oh no!
and they let everyone from the police department go except for 2 dispatchers.
Good God!
The entire Montevallo Police Department was restaffed
Wow.
because
The sheriff? No.
the cops were corrupt, like to the point that they were claiming that people were drug dealers to take their vehicles.
It was the sheriff's department.
And you can look it all up. It
What
was
year?
That was season big
2000
to
something.
make money.
Yeah, well, dude, they had a blacked out Blazer with rims on it. They had a Corvette.
Yeah.
They had all. They were like
They wasn't the only department that was doing
They
it.
were, oh no, yeah, no, but they were one that they went down hard. You look up Montevallo Police Department, goes down. They went down hard, and it turned out like the lead detective there was like, he was like the major one, like the main one.
You looking it up,
I'm trying to.
Jamie?
He might have to look it up.
Jamie,
Jamie.
look it up.
Yeah, I need a Jamie. And once I get a little
money.
money rolling in, I'm gonna get a Jamie. It's hard to find it by like goes down. But now, have you seen where they're trying to build like a bigger jail where we are at?
What?
What the one lady that's always on the grapevine? She said something about it. It's like some kind of tax. thing.
Lindy?
Yeah, Miss Bryant.
Man, Lindy's badass.
And that's where we're taking our kids to get their haircut now, just because.
Yeah,
Like some of
yeah,
these little badge bunnies. We ain't taking our kids to get a haircut there.
They
Well,
said that.
yes. Well, we'll take ours. We'll take
Yeah.
ours. And
Yeah,
but
I'll take my kids.
yeah, she's so sweet.
No, Lindy's smart.
Yeah, she seems
She's
smart. I'd love to
smart.
have her on here sometime.
Yeah,
She's
I'll-
scared about coming on because she's like,
no, because she got a business.
well, yeah, but they're talking. She's talking anyway, and they're talking bad about her anyway. We're gonna take our kids there because that ain't right. That ain't cool.
Well, I mean, she ain't missing out on much. I mean,
No, not really.
Come on now.
But money wise, they shouldn't mess with their money.
No, they shouldn't. But that's how they roll, man.
Yeah, some of them for sure.
But also, they support theirs. We'll support,
Yeah, people that support us.
yeah, and just good people.
Yeah, just good people.
Yeah,
Dude,
that-
what the podcast earlier was cool, Ray. I've enjoyed this hour.
Oh,
these 2
good.
hours.
What I'm looking at now is they're showing. Apparently, you can see everything. They went to court for it in 2020, which
Okay.
is weird. But like all this shit happened back like a decade ago.
They spread it out.
Mm.
So, but it turned out like 90% of the department was corrupt and they were doing bad stuff. And and that's why when you said earlier about the go to the department, it turned out they weren't even legally hiring me. Like they would have literally, after so long,
Mama.
given me a uniform, a car, and all that kind of stuff, but it wouldn't have been right. It just would have been after a period of time, it would have just been
Daddy's almost done.
like
You were like a temp, not like a temp, but like
I
a
wouldn't even say that. I felt more like the
volunteer reserve.
more like the I did it for a week. The
Hey.
cadets. Do you remember the ride along cadets they used to have that?
reserves.
Yeah, that's what I felt like.
Yeah, it stopped.
maybe he's defending himself pretty good. He's trying. He's definitely trying. We can't say he's not. He tried
I
hard.
don't think-
No, dude, that dude's tough, and the Red's tough.
Yeah,
He don't
but
want to
dude,
be
that
out.
Dude ain't punching hard at all. I hate when you think that.
Dude, Red's tough. I like Red. I hope
But
he
I'm
wins.
talking about. Do you remember when Roy Nelson? You know what I'm talking about?
Big country, man.
Okay. Do you remember when Roy Nelson was on Tough?
Yeah.
Because they had Kimbo on there.
Yeah, and he smoked
before
Kimbo out.
Yeah, but before he fought Kimbo, do you remember what he told everyone there?
No.
He was like, when I get him down and start punching him in the face, count. Because once you get to 15 unanswered punches, the referee has to stop the fight.
I didn't know it was 15.
But here's the thing, it's not. There is no actual like regular number, but that's what you can look back on it too. But that's what Roy told them. So when he started doing it,
Armbar.
Brennan Schraub and all of them in the honor, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you think about Brendan Schaub? Some people ain't a fan of Brendan Schaub. Where you at?
I'm some of those people.
Why?
Yeah, it's coming.
On what?
Just in general.
On MMA?
Oh no. He wasn't a great MMA fighter.
But
He
was
beat some
okay.
good. He beat
was
some
a
good
better-
guys. He
shit,
beat some
was a
good guys.
better MMA fighter
He
than
would.
is
He
common.
he would smoke me. You know what I mean? He's
No, the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, and he fought in the UFC,
Well, he would-
and he beat down who'd he beat?
he beat a lot of
he beat
people.
some-
No, who'd he beat down?
Crow Cop,
Crow Cop.
but he got a
He
different
knocked
Crow
him
Cop.
out.
He didn't get good Crow Cop. He didn't get the good Crow Cop. A lot of people didn't. We didn't get good. We only
It's
got.
just like anybody's claiming they'd fight Emelianenko right now. It's like you don't get to do Emelianenko.
No, he's different. He's different now.
It's not the same.
BJ's different now. They all get older. You only get so many fights. He got dropped
I'm
good
talking
though.
about Fedor.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general. Like BJ's different now, Fedor's different now. Now, dude, regular guys getting torqued, right? Torqued, but they're just different now.
You have to be an elite now, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It seems like
look at that face.
15 years ago, you could be like very proficient in one aspect of like maybe stand up, and you might get away with not having to worry about somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you had good takedown defense, we would practice takedown defense up against the cage like all the time. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
A takedown up against the cage and takedowns against the cage because that's where 90% of them will end up.
Yeah.
Right. But man, I tell you what, it's just.
I don't think Red's gonna pull it off. I think he's having a hard night.
Game now than it was. I wouldn't even think of fighting none of these dudes ever.
Oh, dude, it's crazy now. People, it's crazy. The sport's 30 years old. I know because it started in '93, and I'm 30.
That
it's-
dude looks like Matt Brown.
It's 30 years old to watch the
Don't
sport.
kinda look like Matt Brown.
To watch the sport.
I like Matt Brown.
Oh,
I
I've
do
loved
too.
Matt Brown since he was like, "Who put lime juice in my dip?"
Yeah, he beat that guy's
I
tail
met
about
that
that.
guy. I
What-
met the guy that he beat up.
Did you say, "Hey, do you wish you hadn't have done it"?
No, I didn't say much to him. He's actually a really, really like.
Terrifying guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like 6'4".
Now that's what you don't ever understand. Like Forrest Griffin, people think he was a small, like a normal looking
No.
guy. Not at all.
No,
Not at all.
hey, Forrest and I have spoken before. He's a very nice dude.
Tell him to come on the podcast.
He used to be an Atlanta cop, I think.
Yeah, he
He
did.
was a cop. He
Yeah.
was a cop before he went on the Ultimate Fighter. But dude, he is a full. You know that he had him and before he died,
Bonner. Yeah.
Yeah, they had payouts for the UFC every month for $2,500.
Oh, that's so cool. That's cool. That's cool.
They made the sport.
They deserve more. They deserve more.
They deserve more.
They deserve more.
But-
But
They did like their finale of the Ultimate Fighter is what
made it
made
it
UFC
blow up.
Yeah,
They now granted
it's
you
great to talk to people who know that.
Oh, dude, I
tell
love-
other people
love
this, and
fights,
they're
man.
Really?
no, I love watching fight. We're gonna do more fight stuff together too. And then even if you can't come up, we'll get you on the phone sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be
you
glad.
can
I'd be glad to.
absolutely
Dude.
call
I'd
in.
be-
You can call in
And I can send you a link. You use your phone at the house. It's good.
and get his video up.
Yeah. What was the video?
No.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
FaceTiming.
100%. I do.
Skyping.
I hope Red pulls it off, but dude, he got dinked up for a minute. But Crow Cop was so different in Pride. Have you watched Crow Cop in Pride?
Yeah.
Tyler?
Oh,
Huh?
Have you watched Crow Cop in Pride?
No.
Right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. They
Yeah,
said,
that's what-
and
is
he
that
could,
what-
yeah,
No,
straight.
Is that where
No,
that
no.
came from?
Not they said. He said.
Okay.
Crow Cop pat his leg. He said right leg hospital because he's a lefty. Left leg cemetery.
But everyone believed in it. It was a thing. He
Listen,
kicked
and
everybody in
here's
the
thing
head.
too, right? So when he fought Vanderlei Silva, the axe
Yeah.
murderer,
I love the
right?
axe murderer.
When they were face to face and they had the stare down,
That was
you
crazy.
got to understand this was one Brazilian, Anderson Silva, the axe murderer.
No,
Not
Vanderlei. Yeah,
Vanderlei, sorry, that's Anderson. That was just a brutal fighter.
They called him
I-
Mad Dog before they called him the axe murderer, and then they called him the
Then you
axe
got to
murderer.
understand Mirko Krokop, a man who has actually killed people.
Yeah.
This is who's looking.
Crow
back.
cop means Croatian cop.
And
Straight up, no, straight.
That's his last name.
No, Mirko
it's not.
Krokop Filipovic.
yeah,
Is his
his last name is Mirko Filipovic. It's not Krokop. Krokop's a nickname.
They call him Krokop
It's a
because they love him.
He's a Croatian police officer. Now he's in Parliament. He's not even he's a
Straight
government
up,
official.
straight up murdered
But
people.
he has murked people, bro.
I believe it.
No, so much so that Moro Ronaldo. Do you remember him?
Mauro Ranello, but yes.
Ronaldo. I said Ronaldo. Ronaldo was terrified to
Oh.
even speak to him.
Well, no, they told him. They
I know
told
that
they.
he was mad at him, but it didn't matter. From
Yeah.
that point on, he was terrified. Even before that, though, he was terrified to speak to him. But they told him that Mirko was upset with him
with his commentary
for
work.
his commentary for calling a bad fight against him. So when he was like, when they were like, you got to go in there and fight, he was like, I don't want to interview my
He was
He
terrified.
was terrified.
And Krokop sold it pretty good for a minute.
And Krokop played it off for a few minutes and then finally went, nah, just get it with it.
Yeah.
And I bet that dude probably pissed himself.
Oh, dude, no doubt. Croatian Special Forces, man. It's insane. They're not
This
having a
dude-
great
hey,
fight.
I'm telling you, though, this dude in the red, it looks like,
Balls.
yeah, but it looks like Matt
Bolidze.
Brown
Yeah.
and Hoist Gracie had a love child together.
I can see it. I wish they would.
Doesn't it? It's a Hoist Gracie, Matt Brown mesh up.
I can see it. I wish. No,
Ooh,
you
those
know,
hurt.
Herb Dean fought some. Herb Dean
Hey.
fought the ref.
Oh, yeah.
He fought a few times.
Yeah, he's not a great ref though, man.
I don't think so. He always just like if he dies, he dies. It's good.
He's also pulled apart that last Sean O'Malley fight. He pulled that. Don't you think he pulled him off? He hit Sean twice. He hit
Yeah.
him twice.
Well, now who are you talking? What fight are we talking about?
Oh, I can't remember his name. It was the last Sean
O'Malley
fight.
versus the Aljamain, or
Yeah, it was Aljamain.
I think it was a hair early.
He may have laid into him. He may have dodged. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm actually not a huge fan of O'Malley. I like him, but it's not.
I like seeing him. I like how he sleeps people and he doesn't weigh anything. 125, just dink. Oh, like you ever play Minecraft? You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you've
I
heard,
try.
but you've heard the death sound though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
anytime he hits somebody, it goes.
My
Oh,
son, my youngest, my 6-year-old, makes the sound perfect. He sounds exactly like me.
That's cool, man.
And it's like, oh, I got it.
After this fight's over, we'll go ahead and cut it off. Unless you need to go now.
Hell,
I
we've
think
been going for 3 hours.
I want to know
Well-
who wins.
Well, we got
We haven't gone 3
finish
hours.
This one.
6.
No,
Oh,
what are you
7.
talking about?
Okay, 2. No,
It'll
Yeah,
be
2
it'll be 2 hours when we're done.
it's been a good time though.
I had a great time. Ray, I think you're hilarious, buddy. I enjoyed talking to you.
Ray's gonna.
I
have to
haven't
keep
actually
coming
even
on.
been
Yeah.
funny though.
No, that's what I'm saying. The
thing.
more
Because
you
I
come
feel like
on,
I've had to watch. Like, my
no,
brain's been like, don't say it that way.
no.
don't say it that
The only
way.
time we watch the language is on the grapevine because that does seem like it's going to end up being. It seems important, like enough to that
does,
we
and it
don't need it
seems
to be
like
pulled.
You've got a very good. I think that's a good vision on the market. You understand what you're doing, and you understand what the audience would be. You understand that this is a community thing.
Yeah, we don't need that to get pulled off at all.
I think I told you that I was like, I watched it and I saw that he interviewed people who were running for office, and I was like, then I knew. I was like, oh, yeah, this is. A little
But now, as soon as we cut the grapevine off, dude, you're good. Now, next time you come on, shoot your breeze, man. Always do your thing.
I think that when I'm allowed to just go into this, I told him
When
about
we
me
do
getting
another fight
stabbed, and
companion,
he.
you gotta.
We'll do
I
a fight
told-
companion without the grapevine
told
and just
him-
let him roll.
I told him about being stabbed, and him.
Oh, tell us that.
Josh-
He told me that story.
No,
Tell
it's-
us.
Roy,
It's horrible and hilarious at the
They-
same time.
I don't know.
I died by
they-
it.
Tell me the
they
story.
were dying. Like they
I
had
was
tears.
dying.
He mentioned that. I want to hear that story if you're comfortable. with
It's
telling.
not even funny.
No, we want to hear it. Let's
I mean,
hear
I
it.
guess it is the way I told it. I don't know. The funny part though is
No, just
why'd
why'd you get stabbed? Tell me the story. Go whole thing.
I was
It's
at a
good.
bar after work and I didn't have a vehicle and I lived up the road, so I had to walk home. But I was drinking and the bartender there, I knew her. I knew her fiance, and there were two guys that sounded like they were from up north. The way they was talking like this,
Oh no.
and they kept messing with her, like pinching at her and grabbing her, and she was like, and I was like, you gonna say something? And she was like, don't say nothing. I'd had like 4 Jack and Cokes. And then so I had the fifth one, and then I was like, I'm gonna say something, you know. So I walked over there, and I was like, y'all touch her again, I'm gonna fuck both of you up. And they was like they were both surprised to look at, like, you know. And I was just smiling, standing there with my cup, like, you know. And then one of them goes, I got something for you. And I was like, well, give it to me now. I want it right now. And he was like, you'll get it. And I was like, give it. So I got up and I walked back over and I sat down at the bar. And after like less than a minute, they got up and left. So I thought, that's over with. So I got up. She gave me another Jack and Coke for free for standing up for her.
Very sweet.
Yeah. And well, I knew she was like, Jared would have given it to you. Okay. Thank you. But so I stumble up the road on the main street, and then I'm walking back over the bridge towards my house. And on each side of the opposite side of the bridge, there's like, it's just straight down ditch, just a long straight hill on a ditch on each side. And I'm like stumbling my way, and I'm walking across there, and I fall, and I all the way down to the bottom of the ditch. And like I said, it's like a 90-degree angle, right? And I'm climbing up it drunk as shit. And I'm like, and I get up there and get close and just, and I fall back down. I did it like 5 times.
Golly.
And I finally stood up and I was like, am I going to fucking sleep down here? You know, I'm screaming to myself.
Yeah, angry that it's not happening.
So I'm like, I slam myself on the ground. I'm like, army crawling, like all the way up this thing, like, you know. And I get up on the main road, and I finally get up there. I'm soaking wet, just messed up. And all I could think later on was, if these guys were already following me, they got a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Like they were probably dying laughing at this dumbass falling down and then couldn't get back up the hill. Like I was literally weighing my options. Do I sleep down here tonight? Because I can't get back up the hill. Yeah. Then, well, if I would have done that, yeah. But I ended up getting back up and then walking to my house. And I lived in this house that was cut down in the middle, and I lived on the back side, and there was no lights. So I went to the back side of the house. I stuck my key in the door, and I heard, "Hey, motherfucker!" And I was like, "Hey!" I couldn't see nothing, right? And I'm drunk, and I was like, "Huh?" And then I feel, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then I felt, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?" You know what the, you know? And I start running, and then I feel it again in my back, and I just hit whoever was in front of me, and they went over the porch. And then the other guy hit me, and I went through my window and landed on my bed in my bedroom in my house.
Good God. And you're drunk as a skunk.
Tore up. And I went and looked in the mirror, and my whole shirt was just red with blood. Walked out to the road, walked down to the house next door. They wouldn't open the door, wouldn't even turn the light.
It's a drunk jackass on the porch.
Then I went over to this little neighborhood that was a little bit down and knocked on the first door, and they wouldn't open the door, but they turned the lights on. And then I just walked out in the middle of the road.
I'm bleeding.
And went, and I passed out, and I woke up, and there was a cop going, "Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't do that again. Stay with me. Stay with me." God. And then I woke up on an ambulance, and then I woke up on a helicopter.
Oh, God.
So,
how many stitches? How bad was it? I don't know. I mean, I'll look. Yeah.
Here's the 2.
They really don't look crazy. I mean,
wait.
Oh God.
This is where the crazy comes in.
In the grand.
Sorry for those people who can't stand hair.
Oh God. That's awful. That's crazy to me. Hey, mother lover. Boom, 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 boom. Oh God.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man, is that at the time it wasn't even crossing my mind. That's not what was in my mind. You know what I mean? I thought that was gone. I handled that. I'm shit faced. I'm going home.
Yeah, not a thing.
Motherfucker. What?
Oh,
you know?
No.
Yeah. Oh, well, what's going on? Get off me. And literally, that's what it was.
That's crazily insane to me.
You go to the hospital. What happened?
When I got there, I was
I'm gonna play that game
being wheeled back, and I was joking and cutting up with everybody because I was shit faced.
Good God.
But I was conscious then, fully conscious. And then they knocked me out and then did the whole thing on me. I woke up, and then I got sent home after a week and a half. And it turned out they left a 3-inch by 3-inch piece of glass in my back from the window. My side swelled up to where I could rest my arm on my torso.
That's insane
And
to
I
me.
went back and they removed it. Yeah.
So, what was the lesson? That was
Don't be Batman at the bar. Cade comes in. Hey, I'm Batman.
Honestly, if I want to be honest with you, the lesson was I should have beat their ass right there.
Yeah. Sometimes you
I shouldn't
should.
have waited.
No.
I should have just been like,
But
you know
didn't
what?
you say that was the most humbling experience?
My God. Yeah.
That was the
Most humbling
experience?
and like also, I don't know if you remember, but I told you it's the oddest thing is getting stabbed doesn't feel like you think it does.
You don't
No,
feel
no, no.
do you?
It
You don't
doesn't
feel it.
It doesn't hurt.
Ugh.
It's more of a you realize it and then you're like sick to your stomach,
Ugh.
but not pain from the
You don't feel it.
you don't feel it.
Ugh.
Well, especially like also you got to keep in mind that I was drunk. And before that, I only been stabbed one other time before, and that was in the face.
Oh, Jesus.
And that was with a pocket knife.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was in a pocket knife. But I was coming out of a club. Do you remember?
He's trying to fight his corners. Even I'm listening too.
Was it Inferno Club? It was in Birmingham. It was a club in Birmingham.
Look.
I can't remember the name of it now. But it was over. Like I was there with 4 of my black friends, and there were 2 dudes there wearing literal cowboy boots,
Yeah.
cowboy buckles, and cowboy hats. And they came up and they called me the W black word. You know,
Oh yeah.
what are you, some kind of woo? And I was like, you know, and Deontay was like, I'm gonna beat their ass right now. I was like, chill, dude. I was like, they're probably drunk, they're stupid, don't whatever. And then when we walked out of the club and started walking up towards the Industry, that's the name of it, the Industry in Birmingham. We started walking up the hill towards this parking area that was at an apartment complex, and they were standing there. And I've got like 4 black dudes behind me, and they knew I was with them. They could see the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So it's Deontay, Jermaine Gators, the other Deontay, and I can't remember what Jermaine's cousin's name was, but he hung out with us a couple times. He was a little bitty dude. But it didn't matter. They were walking behind me, and the dude walks up to me, and he was like, what about all that shit you were talking? And I was like, bro, I wasn't talking shit. I didn't say anything to you. You know what I mean? I was like, you were being racist. And
Not cool.
Yeah. And I was like, and, you know, I told you to fuck off. That was it. And he goes, he had his hand in his pocket like this. And the tall dude was standing behind him. And he goes, and he, like from his pocket, he had the knife open.
White dude.
Yeah. About that long. It was a little pocket knife. And he goes, foot, like that. And I remember it hit me and I thought he punched me. And I was like, and I remember going, what the hell? And then I remember going, and I could feel the weight. He left it there.
Ah.
And I could feel it. And I went like that, and blood's up and down. Deontay, or Jermaine Gators, goes, holy shit, you bleeding all over your face. Is just.
You bleeding,
And I
dog.
looked back at the guy who stuck me, and he's just going, and I went like that, and I stuck it in his gut, and Deontay goes, run! And I was like, and we ran.
Face bleed. That's insane.
Dude,
That's
look,
crazy.
This right here, I didn't
Crazy
feel it,
race
didn't
game.
hurt.
Now
It was
I've never been stabbed, but I do have a pretty insane story.
I can't say it, right?
Tyler, lick it.
No.
Tyler, lick that.
You
You
should
should
say
be able to
that
see
with
the
your
scar.
beard, right?
There it is. There it is. You should be able to see it. With the
Kinda, but you got a beard.
I got a bird.
So I got in a fight with this guy one time, and we were buddies. We were fighting on and off in high school, but he was dating a girl, and my other buddy also dated that girl. So I was in the middle of it because I'm friends with all of them, man. This is a true story. So I go to his house. I get in a fight with him. He bust me up pretty good. He broke my nose. I bled everywhere. I ended up getting a rear naked choke, and I choked him out in his yard. Choked him to sleep. His brother's like crying, "You killed my brother." I'm like, "He's not dead. He's just asleep."
Yeah.
And he's carrying around like a sock full of like a
Nickels or pennies. or something?
metal, and so he's mad. But I choke him to sleep, and we're good enough buddies that I calm down. I turn him over because I don't want nothing bad to happen. I'm trying to get him cool, and woke up. And he wakes up and he goes, "What happened?" I said, "Well, we fought." He says, "Did I win?" I said, "Well, I look worse." She went to sleep. So I won. But, you know, he goes, everybody's okay. I said, everybody's good, man. We're good. He goes, all right, man. Love you, buddy. Sorry. I said, cool. No big deal. So the next day I get a phone call. Hey, man, you like to do that UFC stuff? And I said, yes, sir, I do. And I knew it was somebody asking for a fight. And I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, well, come over here and you teach me some. I said, I'll see you in just a minute. Well, I get there and I'm 15, maybe 16 at the time because my granddad let me drive at 15. And I get out of the car and I realize this is a 30-year-old man. He wasn't big or nothing, but I could tell he was 30. And I was just like, nope, not fighting a 30-year-old guy. I'm a kid. I'm scared of you. You might whoop me with a belt or something, you know? So I hop back in my car and I drive off to the gas station. I'm scared, you know? I go to the gas station, put gas in my car. He hops out and he punches my car. Wham, well, it's my grandpa's car, you know? So I said, I got out and I hit him like 4 or 5 times and I realized he was a soft, weak little person. And I said, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, dude, I got you. And he goes, meet me in Dutton and we'll finish this. Do you know a guy named Eric Thornhill? You know a Josh Brooks?
No.
Okay, there's yeah, he says, meet me in Dutton, we'll finish this. I said, all right, okay. Whole way there, I'm making a fool of myself. You know, we're super cringy when we're 15. We don't know what the hell's going on. I thought I was Kurt Cobain in his prime or something, you know, just acting like that. We get over there and I hop out of the car and I start dancing and stuff even. It's that bad. And I took my keys out of the ignition. I remember taking my keys out of the ignition because I knew I was going to beat this guy's ass. I knew it was not going to be close. And I throw my buddy the keys. And as I throw the keys, I hear, and I went, oh, yeah. And I went, oh, whoa. And they, one guy's got Eric's got a revolver in his hand, but that's not what I'm worried about. I see this other guy, ski mask on, and he's got a sawed-off shotgun pointed at me, and I went, oof. So they come up to me and they shoot at my feet. It's terrifying. Shot at the tires. I hop in my car and I go to crank it. Where's the keys?
Oh, you threw it,
Threw them to my buddy. Nothing going. The window's down. They start beating my whole tail through the window. They're beating me with the gun, hit me with the revolver and stuff. Coolest move I ever seen in my life, though. I saw a tag team move in real life. Eric, the smaller guy, propped on to his taller buddy, and he jumped, and his taller buddy helped him jump, and he kicked. Yeah, cool, so cool. You know, like a tag team move, and he kicks the mirror off my truck. I was scared to death. But I also remember going, that looked pretty cool, man. It's all right. It's all right. So they dragged me out of the car, and my buddy, he goes, Sam, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I said, there ain't nothing you can do, buddy. And they beat the piss out of me. Blacked both my eyes, tore my nose up, threw me against, just beat the piss out of me. It wasn't close. It was not a close fight. There was nothing at all that I could do. They're crying. Well, we had called our black buddy. Right up, Chris Moss, and we were convinced at the time, that time in our life, that he was a gangster dude, man.
Yeah,
we thought he rode heavy. We thought he came strapped, so we called him. We said, "Hey, look, just in case they get weird, you come over here and meet us, and we're gonna get them done, right?" Well, Chris shows up about the same time. Chris shows up, they meet him at his car, and his granddad takes his revolver, and they're like Klan people, we think. He sticks the revolver up against his head and he says, if you move, I'll blow your N-word head off. He said it to him. So Chris like, I'm just here to watch, man. I ain't got nothing. They said they was gonna watch a fight, bro.
I bought a ticket. Here's my stuff.
Yeah, like what? So they kicked the crap out of me. Finally, they get me back in my car. They let us leave. I thought for sure I was going to die. I thought I was going to die in like that crap hole place, man. No offense to that place. Just we were at like an old closed down movie rental place. And I was like, this is my death. You know, this is awful. So kick the crap out of me. I'm butthurt. I'm angry. We start going home and I end up behind his grandpa's car, right? And once I realize it's his grandpa's car, my buddies realize it's his grandpa's car. So he ran his car off the road and we beat him. Like bad. Like, no, we didn't touch him. He's a grandpa. You know?
I was like, oh my god.
No, we didn't touch him. He had a revolver on our buddy. What was we gonna? He just shot us as we got to the car. So, dude. So my buddy's like, we should beat him up, and I'm like, no, he literally has a gun, and you were crying a while ago because they did. So we get to the house. I walk into my house. I got 2 black eyes, busted nose. I look crazy, man. Ain't no way. I've been like this once in my life and never this bad. And I laid down and I passed out. I slept they were worried I was like dying. And I was like, don't tell my grandma. I don't want them to worry. And then they ain't gonna let me go have fun no more. I want to do hood rat stuff with you guys. So I lay down, I fall asleep. I sleep for like 2 days. You know what I mean? I'm in and out, coming back and forth. And they're like, what if they come here? What if they know where we live? I'm like, they totally don't. Shut up. You know, they got the jump on us. So I go to my granddad's house, Steve Brown, W.C. Brown, Eula Brown, Steve's their son. And I knew he had guns. I knew he carried because he'd tell us, I don't fight. I just shoot you, stab you. I ain't doing it. So I went there and I wanted the gun. I was going to get mine back because I was mad, you know. And I went in and my papa seen me and bless her. You know, you've met Papa, right? Just a sweet soul of a lady. And she goes, what happened to you? And I told her, and I shouldn't have told her. Never should have told her. And my granddaddy made sure I knew that. He said, yeah, I'll get you a gun. Meet me outside. And I said, I'm right. So I go outside with him and he tells me, he says, look, man, don't you ever talk about stuff like that in front of her again. He said, you do whatever you want, but don't tell her. Her heart don't need that. He said, and also, I ain't giving you no gun to go get yourself in trouble. I said, well, all right. And, you know, I was butthurt. I said, but I understand. And I never told her about stuff like that no more. Well, about a year goes by. I'm dating this girl and ends up that he's dating one of her friends. And I told her the story because I was real mad about the butt whooping I took that I couldn't do nothing about. Well, I told her the story. And it got back to him, right? Because he was dating the friend. And he calls me up one day. He says, hey, man, you been telling people I beat you with guns and jumped you with my friend? I said, yes. He said, why?
Tell the truth.
Yeah, he said, why? I said, because, yeah. I said, because you did. He said, don't be lying on me. I said, ain't no lie. You did it. I was there. It was awful. It was terrible. I just want payback. We can fight now, you know? And so I'm at my Uncle Kevin's place at the time. And again, I'm like 16 years old. I shouldn't even have been rolling around with these kind of people if this was possible. I should have had some raising. So my Uncle Kevin goes, hang on a second, because this guy was telling me about exactly what I was doing and where I was doing it at. We was in Henniger, and he goes, hang on. And Kevin is known to fight a little bit, and he does carry. He goes running out in the middle of the road, and he goes, like Batman, I swear he did. And he goes, get in the wrecker. And I'm like, okay, where are we going?
We're towing his house.
Yeah. So, yeah, like what? So I hop in his wrecker, man, and I go, where are we going? Where are we going? And he goes, I know where he's at. And I said, how? And he was, you know, where Hogan's Record Service was in Henniger. He was at the car wash, parked behind the car wash, watching me at my uncle's place. And he blocked him in with the wrecker. And he said, Sam, sit in the car. I said, okay, I don't even know who you're talking to out here. I was like, what's going on? So he hops out, and now I can see it's that guy, man. And he goes up to him and he says, did you beat my nephew with them guns? He goes, no, swear I didn't. He goes, yes, you did. Why would he lie about it? What good does that do me? You know, I just took a butt whooping. So then, finally, my uncle says, I ought to, you know, shoot you myself. He said, but I'm gonna let my nephew whoop on you. And I was like, it's my time to shine, man. So I hop out of the car. Yeah, I felt great. And it does get corny though. I said, hey man. He goes, I didn't do that. And I said, sure, you sure did. You really did do it. And he goes, well, I can't fight you right now. The cops will come. I said, they're just gonna watch me whoop your ass, buddy. They're his friends, man. And then I hit his car. Bam. Popped it really good. And he goes, don't you hit my truck again. And I went, I cracked it a lot of times, you know, because I was butthurt and mad. And he goes, he steps out of the car, and again, he's 30, maybe 25, but he says, if you're going to step to a man, you better step correct. Right? Now, this is where your skin's going to crawl with the cringe, because I looked back at my uncle, and I felt cool when I said it. I'm going to show him how to step, man. And I started beating the crap out of him. I beat his head into the car. I threw his head against the tire. I just beat his whole tail, man. And then finally he said, I quit. I'm done. I said, okay. That's really about all it took, man. We're good. See ya. But the good part of it was I had a date that night. And I said, hey, man, you ripped my shirt off of me when we was getting it done. I said, I need a shirt. And he gave me a shirt, man. And we're cool now as far as I know. I ain't never seen him again. But
that's how it should be, man. Ass whooping.
Yeah, people shouldn't be stabbing people.
Yeah,
people shouldn't be pulling no guns. They could have fought you. They could have 2-on-1 you and been safer than the knife. No, it's crazy. Yeah, this whole thing is crazy. People scared to just fight a person is insane to me.
It really is. I think we talked about this last time. Before you close out,
no, you're good.
To say that I think that everyone in the world needs to be punched in the face
at least one time.
But it's for two reasons. It's for one, for you to know exactly how bad it hurts.
Yeah.
But also to know that it doesn't hurt as bad as you think it does.
Never as bad as you think it is.
It's never as bad as you think it is. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. Now there's people like Garrett, like the one I told you when I hit him and he started crying. It was clear that this was going to be his last MMA fight.
Yeah.
And it's just not for him. And there was a guy up in Illinois that he was with the Hive for about maybe 2 weeks, and he went on his first fight, and that was how fast TJ was moving. And he convinced him because he was good, but he was really good stand-up striker, had really good boxing movement, and he had below the waist he had really good kicks, you know what I'm saying. But midway through the first round of his fight, he turned around. They're fighting. This is in the middle of the fight. He turned around, looked at the TJ, and he went,
"Oh no!"
like that. And they finished out the first round. And he, I want to say his name was Jason, something. It was something like that. But he was beating this dude. I mean, he was beating this dude's ass. It was like there was no. It was just the way it was. But when he was done with the first round, even after turning around to TJ, he came and sat down and he was like, "I'm not going back out."
Oh God.
And it had nothing to do with how tough this dude was. This dude was tough. He was beating the shit out of this guy. He just didn't have it in him.
That's crazy. No, and that's the thing. There's a lot of good fighters, man, that you'll never know.
They just don't have it in them to keep going to hurting somebody.
Crazy.
But I
Ray,
bet he'll defend his
oh, zero doubt. Ray, I think you're hilarious. I have enjoyed the conversation. It rolled easily. There was no trouble getting the time out. I want to do it again for sure. I do want to talk about a whole bunch of stuff we can all do together. Tyler, thanks for being on too, man.
Yeah, man.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I took a good nap.
Tyler's ready for bed. He's so old.
I know it.
And I took a 3-hour nap.
Heck yeah.
This
Thank y'all
old
for
man,
tuning in.
he's-
We'll do it again. And then from now, like anytime you can't make it, I'll let you call in or video in.
Okay, well, I'll try my best to make it out here.
Heck
Really.
yeah, man.
I would love to